guys. Good evening. Hey, beautiful people. It's now I want to adjust camera. Hey, Obodo fam. Good evening. I throw away salute to. Hey. Good afternoon. Good evening. How's everyone doing today? You are very welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. Please give us a thumbs up as you are coming in. I've got some great men in the studio. Thankfully, I'm not doing this by myself today. I've got some very knowledgeable, experienced, great men, timber and caliber men in the studio. I've got Brad Patrick, who you guys know very well here, our uncle, our elder, our advisor, and I've also got Brother Ernest. So this is actually a video that's two young men, one in Nigeria and one here in the UK. They requested for this video. So the one in the UK said, Auntie B, I watch your show all the time. My younger sister and my elder sister, introduced me to your platform. And I listen all the time. I hear you guys talk about Mongo Park. I don't want to be a Mongo Park, but there must be some things that will help me so that I will know as a young man. He's really young in his 20s. I thought it was so sweet when I spoke to him. I was like, oh, this is so nice. It's so good to know that young people are listening, Gen Z. And I like people that are always open to learning, willing to learn, improve themselves. They don't want to repeat the same cycle. They want to do better. Everything that is improved upon is better. Everything, including relationships. Everything gets better. Is when it remains the same that, sometimes it becomes stagnant. I always hello, Chidima, how are you? Hi, everybody. Welcome. Make I greet people first before I bring my brothers into the studio. My uncles, Life with Natsu, how are you? Don't mention that name. Do not mention that name at all. I don't want any drama today. No drama. Today is all about learning. It's all about taking in the lessons from this man in the studio. So come in, invite your brothers, invite your friends, invite your neighbors, invite your enemies, invite your whoever. Let them come and learn. Cherish Olivia, thank you so much for always being here. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Good evening. Today is the 29th of June. We're almost at the end of the month, right? And I've got very honorable men in the studio. I'm going to first of all bring in Brother Patrick, who you guys know very well. Brother Patrick is our brother, is our elder. Please, Obodo fam, help me salute Brother Patrick. Give him the usual. He's not coming today in the comment section. He's coming as a guest for the first time. So please help me welcome Brother Patrick in the building. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I really appreciate you, Auntie B, as always.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for the honor.
Thank you, sir.
To invite me, and I appreciate the Obodo family as well.
Yes, the young man specifically demanded for Brother Patrick. He was like, "Can you bring uncles like Brother Patrick to teach younger men like us how not to be Mongo Park?" And the one in Nigeria, you would not believe it, Brother Patrick. The one that in Nigeria, those ones, the emails corresponded between us. There are too many, so I didn't even bother to share. He was willing to pay. He said he wanted to sponsor the show just to have some learning to be taught by older men who've been married, who are having a successful marriage, how to do marriage. People often say that there is no manual, but I don't think it's true. There's just some basic things that will make a woman happy. What they requested for is how to make your woman, how to take sweet care of your wife. How to take sweet care of your wife. So let me bring in Brother Ernest Omojo. Hello, bro Ernest. How are you? It's been a minute. Can you hear me?
Hi,
Hello,
Auntie B, Uncle
Oh,
P.
hi. Hi. Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
I can hear you.
All right. Okay. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, Auntie B.
It looks like your audio is a bit delayed. Is it?
Good afternoon.
Welcome, sir. Thank you for taking the time to be with us tonight. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Hello, can you
So
hear me
you
clearly
guys,
now?
yeah, but it looks like it's delayed. Before you hear me, it's a bit delayed.
Is it better?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think it was a bit far from you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So you guys know Brother Ernest. So those of you who don't remember, we normally refer to him as Glorious Husband on this platform. Because when he used to call us at the beginning, he used to use Gloria's accounts to call us. So some of you will remember Brother Ernest as Gloria's husband. She's married to a very wonderful, beautiful woman who happened to celebrate her birthday a few days ago. So happy birthday to Sister Gloria. God bless you from glory to glory. But Ernest has recently written two books, and I've got the books here. Yeah, the first one is titled "The Potent Force of Sponsorship." The potent force of sponsorship. And we're just gonna have oh, he's dropped off. What happened? Oh my goodness. Rhiners, please come back. I was just talking about your book. I mean, it's a very it's about 95 pages and quick read. You can read if you are a fast reader, you can probably read it within an hour or two. And in this book, it will tell us a little bit more about it later on in the show. It was talking about how we often talk about mentorship, but we don't talk about sponsorship, and how he has used sponsorship in his career. I was talking about your book, this one. Brian S, can you hear
In your
me?
system.
Can you hear me? I think there's
Okay,
a
Auntie B,
little
is it
delay in
better?
your audio. Yeah, I was just talking about this book, The Potent Force of Sponsorship. Your the book. Uh-oh, your audio is not quite good. Maybe we'll give you some time to
Sir, give me your
resolve
system.
it.
Come and take my laptop.
Yeah, we'll give you some time to resolve it, Brian S. Then I'll bring you back. And then the second book he wrote, I like this one. He's called The Audacious Fates. The Audacious Fates. I'm going to share the link where you can get them. I'm not sure if they're on Amazon, but he will tell us a little bit about, the books. And this one is also a very quick read. Thank you very much for sending copies to me. Is about 100 pages as well. And in this one, it talks about the power of using faith. Using faith, how faith can be applicable to your day-to-day life. Are you good now, Brother Ernest?
Yes, I've changed my system. I think
Good.
it's better.
Yes, yes, it's much better. I was just talking about your two books. First of all, I'm not sure you know Brother Patrick. Let me introduce you. That's Brother Patrick there. He's an elder in this platform. We respect him. He's a man of God, he's a pastor, and is we've really we've benefited from his wisdom on this platform. So Brother Patrick meets Brother Ernest Omo.
I know
And
very well.
do you know him very well?
Ernest, I know
Good,
you.
good day, sir.
Ernest, my brother. I beg, I'll read your book. I like to learn from men that have wisdom like you.
I'm humbled, sir. Thank you, sir.
God
We'll take
bless you.
some few minutes to talk about the book before we talk about marriage and what makes marriage work in today's world, because both of you by the grace of God are successful married men, and we can learn from your wealth of experience being married to one woman for decades, right? So Brian, I wanted to ask you about this book. You were talking about the audacious faith. I know you are a man of faith, and in this book, you were kind of telling us about how you've applied faith in your own life and how it's
Yes.
worked for you. Yeah. You want to tell us a little bit more about this before we get on with the show?
Okay. Thanks first, my appreciation to you, Auntie B, to be on this platform, and my appreciation to the Obodo farm family. I'm really elated to be on this platform today. I'm going to talk first about the audacious faith is a raw experience you are seeing on the blueprints about living experiences that happened in the course of 4 years of my life, running
Yeah.
from June 2019 to May 11th, 2022. And
Right.
yes, and audacious faith speaks about courage, faith, passion, and intelligence, the type that comes through not by mere words. If you are looking for the attributes of a real life African professional, you've got this book in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
audacious faith talks about the intersection of faith, family, and career life.
Yeah.
How does a mid-career couple cope when their seemingly reliable source of income comes rudely and suddenly taken away?
Mm-hmm.
The audacious faith talks about a career that I had in a multinational that spanned about 2 decades.
Mm-hmm.
Everything seems going well. It's like you are on the flight, and the flight is sailing. The pilot is on cruise control,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you have loss of gravity,
Yeah.
loss of altitude, and the plane comes crashing down.
Right.
What do you do at that point?
And this was in your professional life.
My professional life.
Right.
I woke up one morning and my job was over.
Hmm.
I was asked to come and take my letter of retirement and that my services were no longer needed. And I faced the institution and I said, you can't do that.
Right.
I will determine when I want to leave here and at my terms.
Right.
And it was like me standing before a rock. A young man facing a multinational with over 125 years of experience across 55 nations of the world. And here's a young man from a third world country in Nigeria telling them that what they are doing is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, there's nothing I can do. I will have to go.
Right.
It's not only me, others have gone. I will not be an exception. And I said, I will be an exception for the first time.
Hmm.
And I fought this process for 3.5 years. I went to the president of Nigeria, the immediate past president, Buhari, reported this issue. I went through the regulators. We fought all the battles, and they had their way and said, I must go.
Hmm.
I went to the law court. They brought all the senior advocates. They had all the resources, and they frustrated the process for 2 years. And I stood my ground that I will not go.
Hmm.
Ultimately, God had his way, and the government that had said they had given up came back 2 years after and sought for an intervention. And at the end of the day, my letter was withdrawn and the process was reversed, and I exited on my own terms. That is
Wow.
summary of
Wow.
audacious faith.
Wow. So you refused to be sacked. You chose that I am not going to go until I'm ready to go. And you fought the process for 3 whole years and won the case.
Yeah.
I'm sharing a screenshot of a Punch publication here where it says how the company, Except Mobile, unlawfully sacked me over my faith-based book.
Yeah. This was the first book, the Potent Force of Sponsorship, which I will talk about later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, the of sponsorship, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So after they reinstated you back, then you decided to retire.
I decided to retire because for me, the environment was toxic.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone through 3.5 years of all kinds of fierce battle,
Mm-hmm.
media fireworks, fight with the regulators, and there was no way I was going to go back to that environment and feel fulfilled.
Why was it so important for you to get back to that role? Did you feel like you were unlawfully they unlawfully let you go, or you were sacked because of something that was not right? Why did you fight so hard to get back your
Uh,
role?
One of the reasons I fought so hard was I carry a name, I'm a brand. There are generations that are going to come after me.
Hmm.
I needed my children's children to have a story to tell about me. I needed to tell my story. I didn't want to walk away and leave assumptions of why I left.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, money was not the issue. In fact, money was put down for me to leave, but I chose to suffer the inconveniences for 3.5 years, having to train 2 undergraduates, both in the US and Canada, with no source of income. But I stood my ground that my name, that process must be reversed because I carry a name, I carry a brand, and I want generations after me to be proud that they had a grandfather, they had a father who fought his way through a process. And that was major to me. And that was the firing power that kept me going on for 3.5 years. It was
So
tough.
so you took them to court.
Yeah, we went to court for 1 year and 6 months. We were in court. I was asked to now pull out the case out of court when the government came a second time through the intervention of the Nigerian Minister of Petroleum, that I should get the case out of court. They will make a second attempt to have the issue resolved. And that's how it was finally resolved. It was a long drawn battle for 3 years and 7 months.
So the link to the book on Amazon, I've just shared it. Uzo, you were asking that you like to read it. Something you can read very, very quickly. We all need to develop faith because some people would have given up. I mean, it takes a level of courage and faith for you to take on a multinational company with all their legal departments, their legal firms backing all their money, their resources, and a single man took them on and won. So you want to get that book, the link is in the comment section. Wow, what a story. What a story. It is such an intriguing read. One thing I really love about you, Brian, is the way you celebrate your wife. I mean, we've already seen it on this platform numerous times when you've been here. You are one man, not only you, Brad Patrick does that as well, but you always, always celebrate your wife. And I was reading the preface of this book, and it is the way you describe her, the way you describe Gloria, the pet name you call her, the love names you call her, my rising star, my love, my partner for life, my ukinebo. Oh my goodness. Even me, my head was swelling when I was reading this. Oh my God. Fantastic, fantastic. Well done, well done. I think like black people, and sometimes most of us, we take the easy way out. We take the easy route that I don't want wahala. They're going to offer me money. Why should I fight? Let me just take the money and go. But you were determined that you are going to see this through. I mean, how was the journey for you? I know you can't tell us everything, but did you not want to give up at some point that you know what, maybe I should just let them go and take whatever they're offering me and leave this matter?
There, I won't kid. Like I said, there is no embellishment. When you read the book, there were occasions I felt like giving up to go and sign and just move away. It tested the strength of my family.
Hmm.
You don't know how strong your family is until you are faced with the travails of life.
Hmm.
What this process took me through was, one, it gave me a new revelation, a new level of relationship with God.
Hmm.
Secondly, it gave me a new level of relationship with my wife, because it tested our love as a couple, and it also tested our strong bond as a family.
Hmm.
I won't kid anyone. If you don't have God, this could have consumed any family.
Hmm.
So there were occasions I felt like giving up, but there was this strong voice in me that kept me going on. And the turning point came in 2020, late 2020, 2021. I started dialing. In fact, this was what actually led to my leaving Nigeria.
Hmm.
When this happened in 2019, my wife just said, one of the ways to keep your head up is you need to be out of this environment while you fight this battle. So we just came to Canada to come and watch how things unfold. So while here in 2020, I joined a prayer platform called the Next Level Prayer Platform, Bolaji, for those who know him. And one morning at 12 a.m. Canada time, because the program normally starts at about 5, 6 in the morning, while I was joining the program, what came from Bolaji, and it was very clear, was speaking to me. And he said, you will see it in the book, I think chapter 6 of the book. He said, there's a young man here on this program. You are joining me from Canada. You left this country because of issues that had to do with your work. You are going through so much troubles. You are in court. You are fighting this company. God said I should tell you that he has created a way of escape for you. For me, that was clearly God speaking to me. The following day, he repeated the same word of knowledge. There's a young man here joining me from Canada. I repeat again, you are going through so much stress and issues that have to do with your exiting your job from Nigeria. God said I should tell you, I have made a way of escape for you, and you are going to surmount. That gave me a fresh hope of knowledge. And precisely 6 days after that morning prayers, I got a call from Nigeria, from the Minister of Petroleum's office.
Yes.
And that was how the events that led to the eventual resolution of my matter came up. We went through 6 months of various meetings, and that's what led to the resolution. So to answer your question straight away, yes, there were occasions I had to give up. The fear was there to give up, because I tell people, your faith can only be tested when you are not sure of the next $1 or the next $1. It's very easy for you to say, I believe God, when at the back of your mind, you have $10,000.
Everything is soft.
Yes. But when there's nothing, like the story of Elijah, when the brook dries up, will you have the faith that when the brook dries up, God will send the ravens to bring food for you? Will you have the faith that when the ravens stop bringing food, God will send the Zarephath woman to take you home? Those were the processes I went through, and it redefined my relationship with God. So today, nothing moves me. If I want to buy an aircraft tomorrow, if my faith can take me there, I can buy it.
Wow.
That's the level I've developed relationship with God, that no man can please God except those who have faith in God. And if your faith says yes, you can have your way in anything in life.
What is the biggest lesson you want anybody buying this book today to take away from it, based on your experience, that they can apply to their day-to-day life? Because people go through different kind of challenges. It might not be a termination of your employment. It might be family related. It might be health related. Different kinds of challenges that people go through. What is your biggest message regarding building your faith to overcome difficult period, that you want anybody who's reading this book, The Audacious Faith, to take away, sir?
One, you've got to have tenacity of purpose. Purpose is the essence of any humanity. It is that purpose that will drive you through any process. If that purpose is not there, chances are that you're going to waver, because trials are going to come. We are going to face the storms of life.
Hmm.
But if that purpose is there, that determination is there, then you know that God says that you are going to pass through. He said trials will come, tribulations will come, but he said you are not going to be in there, you're going to pass through. So what keeps you going is that troubles may last for the night, but joy will come in the morning.
Amen.
So the biggest lesson I have taken from this process, which I can send to anyone, is that whatsoever you are passing through, if you have that tenacity, if you have that staying power, most times it's that staying power that is going to be tested. And you should always have at the back of your mind that it is not you, it is not your name that is at stake, it's God's name that is at stake.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
because this is not about me,
Mm-hmm.
of myself, I can do nothing.
Hmm.
So, if you have that at the back of your mind, that God, if I fail in this process, there's no shame. I have put
Hmm.
your name forward. It is you that is at stake. It's your
Hmm.
name that is at stake. Just
Hmm.
like the three Hebrew men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, told Nebuchadnezzar, he said, "O king, we are not careful to answer you." Even if God chooses not to, because he could have chosen not to deliver them. He said, even if
Hmm.
he chooses not to, we will not bow, we will go through this fire. At that point, there is no way heaven will not have answered, because they just put God on the fiery line, if I may use that word. So at every situation in life you face, always remember that it is not your name that is at stake. You can't fight this battle on your own.
Hmm.
Put God as the front burner, put God's name, and his name will never, he will never deny himself. So
Amen.
that is one of the biggest lessons I've learned passing through this process for 3 years and 7 months.
Thank you so much. That's such a powerful word, because I feel like you are speaking to us. That's a message right there. Thank you so much for that. I like the fact that you said that, when you are going through this, just know that you keep reminding God that it's not me, or it's not about me. It's about you, and you cannot fail. So this is not my struggle. This is for you. That is what you should remind God. So that's, for me, that is a word that I'm going to hold very dearly to my heart. Is a reminder for us to always know that these things that we go through is not about us. It's about God and his name, and it cannot fail. His name cannot fail. So thank you so much for that. We're going to talk about the other book very quickly before we go on with the show. Uh, oh my God, I can talk about this book for hours, but because of time, let's talk about this other one. You wrote this one as well, The Potent Force of Sponsorship. And I was going through it, I read it, and you were talking about how in our community we don't often explore how powerful sponsorship is. We talk about mentorship, but not sponsorship, and how this has helped you in your career. And I particularly like how you started off by talking about how when you joined this company as an intern, you were so dedicated with your work, you were committed, and that was seen and recognized. And as a result, the bosses saw that and ensured that you got a job. So what message quickly are you trying to pass when you are talking about sponsorship with this book?
Yeah. This is the first book I ever wrote, and it was purely built out of, interestingly, I wrote The Potent Force of Sponsorship in 7 days. I woke up one morning and this Holy Spirit spoke to me, pick up your pen and start writing. And I wrote this book in 7 days. The Potent Force of Sponsorship is a raw experience of what I went through as a young career person working in Nigeria. And what I have layered out in this book is to bring out one of the key things that makes you succeed in this phase of life, whether in the spiritual aspect, whether in the contemporary aspect, whether in politics or in sports, is the word sponsorship. We tend to place so much emphasis on mentorship. And
Mm-hmm.
what I brought out of this book is that to differentiate between a mentor and a sponsor, we all know what a mentor is: a coach, somebody that teaches you things. But
Yes.
what I brought out was that you can have all the skills of life, you can have all the soft and hard skills, you can have the best of education, you can have everything prepared.
Hmm.
If you don't have a sponsor, what I call a sponsor, someone that will give you a platform to exhibit those talents, you will never succeed in life. Never.
Yoruba, as you are saying it now, the people always make fun of me that I speak too much Yoruba, but I can express myself in a way because if I speak my language, you guys will not understand. There is a Yoruba saying that "Ta ba reni fẹ̀yìntì bí ọ̀lẹ là ń rí." I don't know if you understand Yoruba. What it means is that if you have nobody to lean on, you are like a lazy person. So it's just, it's just playing in my spirit as you are saying it, that without sponsorship, people, you will struggle
You're going to
because
struggle.
it's like giving you a platform. What you said now is like giving somebody a platform where they can now learn, grow, and fly.
Correct. And that is the principles of life. And the reason why a lot of young men struggle is because they place so much emphasis on mentorship. They place so much emphasis on building the soft and the hard skills. And I proved it in the book through various theorems. And I started with the personality of Jesus Christ to establish the theorem that the sponsorship principle is a universal principle backed by the Almighty God. And I
Yes.
use the classical case of Jesus and John the Baptist. John the Baptist was the sponsor of Jesus Christ. Before Christ came, God knew that somebody needed to open the door for Christ. And he sent John 6 months ahead of Jesus Christ. And we are told that John was in the ministry. He was known as a prophet from God. Everyone in Israel believed that John was truly a man sent from God. When Jesus appeared on the scene, what did he do? He went and he developed the soft and the hard skills. He went to the wilderness. He was tempted. He was praying. He was getting ready for the ministry. When the time came, there was no way Christ could have appeared on the scene without John the Baptist introducing him. In fact, John had the capacity to demarket Jesus Christ because everybody believed he was the prophet sent from God. All John could have done was to demarket Christ, that he's not the one. No wonder the Bible says that of all men born of any man, any woman, that no one is as great as John the Baptist. You know why? He was a man that rolled up his platform and he ushered in Jesus Christ. He said, "This is the man. He is mightier than me. Even his shoes are not worthy to unlace. This is the person we'll be waiting for." That was the biggest sponsorship of all times. You can't see it today where people can roll off their platform and give it to you. That was what John the Baptist did for Jesus Christ. To demonstrate that there are no self-made man. Anybody that tells you that I'm self-made is a liar. The life is driven by relationship and people giving you shoulders to lean on. No self-made man. Christ could not have made himself without John the Baptist. So John opened the way for Jesus Christ. One of the things I brought out of the book was that do not hang around people who will not celebrate you. People who don't celebrate you will not open platforms for you. And guess what? You don't necessarily need to do anything for someone to open the platform for you. Look at the story of John the Baptist. We are told that at 6 months of conception, Mary visited Elizabeth. What happened? We are told that John the Baptist, while he was still in the mother's womb, he leaped for joy when Christ appeared still in the womb of Mary, which means before Christ was even born, both of them, John was already excited about Jesus Christ. No wonder he was able to unwillingly, with all love, close his ministry and ushered in Christ. So when you hang around people who will not open the platform for you, you are wasting your time. Look for people who celebrate you. Look for people who love you genuinely. People who can open your platforms for you. And they can come in diverse ways. Your sponsor could just be your housemaid. Your sponsor could be your boss. The sponsor for Naaman, who was a captain, who was a general, was the maid in his home. If he did not listen to the maid, he would have remained a leper.
Yeah.
So Your sponsor can come in diverse
It can
ways.
come, it doesn't need to be somebody that is higher than you.
Yeah,
Why do you think that we don't explore, in our community as Africans, as Nigerians, we don't explore sponsorship a lot? You don't often hear about it as much.
we see it lacking because sponsorship, people see that it is born out of selfishness. People think that when you open a level for another person, you diminish. But
Hmm.
that's not the truth.
Hmm.
When you uplift people, you are higher. So that is what is lacking in the African environment. People tend to be scared that when I give somebody a shoulder to lean on,
They will
chances
outshine me.
is going to outshine me. But that is
Hmm.
not the truth. There
Hmm.
is joy in making people better. There is joy in taking people from one level to the other. It is how life operates.
Hmm.
So, why you are seeing growth reducing in the Africa context is because this is lacking. You see it play out among the Asians, they use it
Hmm.
very well.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
mean, somebody opened the door for Barack Obama to
Hmm.
speak at the Democratic Convention. And when he spoke at that convention, heavens opened for him, and that was the
Hmm.
beginning of his
Of his
career.
political career,
career.
yes.
But
Hmm.
somebody gave him that platform. So the more platforms we give ourselves, the more Africans are going to develop.
Hmm.
We are not exploring this principle because we always think that when we open doors for people, people get better. But the
Yeah.
Asians are using it. When they come into a community, they tie themselves together. They look for open doors they open doors for themselves. They lean on each other's shoulders, and you see them growing in multiplying effects.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, these books, I've seen the first one, The Audacious Fate. I've seen it on Amazon, but I couldn't find the potent force of sponsorship. Where can we find the books for
The
those who
polling
want to
post of
purchase them?
sponsorship is available in hard copies now, but I'm working to put it on Amazon, but it's not on Amazon yet. But
Right.
people can book copies, and hard copies can be delivered.
Okay, where do they book them from? Maybe you
I'll
send me the link or the email if they need to send an email, whatever, how to order it, and then I'll put it in the comment section because I think a few people have already purchased the Audacious Fair because it's available on Amazon, and then people want to, because this one is relating to career, it's relating to building yourself, building your empire in whatever area that you're doing. How sponsorship can give you leverage to get up there. And I think a few people here who've already benefited from sponsorship, someone like Mayong Egbe, you've been talking about how sponsorship has successfully helped you in your career. Yeah, so you can send me the link, Ernest, by WhatsApp, and I'll put it in the comment section for people who want to buy the book. Thank you so much for that. I think they're amazing books. They are quick reads. I know people don't like reading big books. I don't mind big books, but these are really quick reads and they will build you. Let's not be those generation of Africans that don't read though. Let us read. Books are good. They are very, very good. Knowledge comes. Faith comes by hearing, and you get knowledge by reading. Knowledge, please. Get these books. The Audacious Faith by Omo Ojo, Ernest, Evie, and you have The Potent Force of Sponsorship by Omo Ojo, Ernest, Evie. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Okay, Brad Patrick. Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
that was wonderful, bro. Ernest, thank you very much. I
Thank you,
really
sir.
learned from you today. So life is driven by relationship. Don't
yeah,
hang around. People will not celebrate you. You really said, well, I'm going to take time and read the book. Thank you for your
yes,
wisdom.
yes. You
The
should read
Lord,
them.
the Lord will continue to empower you.
Thank you, sir.
Amen.
Thank
Yeah.
you very
He,
much.
he, he talks about principles and how these principles are universal. And if you apply the principles, it will work for you. You don't need to be white or black or red or yellow. It's just about principles. And once you apply these principles, then these doors will open. It's very difficult for some Christians to really believe in principles. They always believe everything is about, prayers, without doing the actual, putting in the actual principles that you need to succeed. So, yeah, it's good for us to learn and unlearn. Thank you so much. Now, let's talk about marriage and relationship. Now that we've spoken about Brother Ernest's books, yeah, I'm going to come to you, Brother Patrick. The young man sent me the email. Let me quickly read it. And this one, he said, "Hello, Auntie B. I hope you are doing good. Uh, unless there's already one, could you please host a show inviting someone like Brother Patrick to talk about relationship, romance, and marriage, particularly marriages and how a man can not just take care, but take sweet care of his wife. The value for the young generation, the value the young generation will get from this 9 months, for the man's decade of experience in running a successful marriage cannot be overemphasized. Even if it's going to be a paid show, I won't hesitate to pay. And if I can afford the funds for it, I won't mind saving some funds in order to have access to this video. You see how he really wants to learn. And he said, of course, there are tips on how to run a successful marriage on the net. But what would make the show different is that it will be a not-for-profit. It will be a not-for-profit. Successful marriages tips that are coming from honest people with decades of experience and sharing it with a third party. It is better if the marriage experience talk show is you know is raw, but with lessons learned and honest tips to run a successful marriage than some sugar coated ones from the net without real world experience. Yeah, so that's the request for you, Brother Patrick. So I
Thank,
don't know where you want to start from. It seems
yeah,
really, really broad, but
yeah.
take it
Thank you
away.
very much for the person that sent the email. Auntie B, I'm going to make 2 points and we're going to build on it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I will allow Ernest to talk. Let me quickly give us a brief summary of how I met my wife. That will
Okay,
help.
sir.
Yeah,
Hmm.
by God's grace, I was ordained in the Redeemed Christian Church of God.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
the first church I was asked to go and pastor, I had my letter with me, and the church is a big church. They are using a 5-star hotel in Lagos. So I was supposed to resume on a Tuesday for the Bible study. Behold, when I got to the church, everybody was outside. I said, what happened? The auditorium was locked because the church was owing 6 months
Bese,
of rent. They didn't
right.
pay. And now I said, thank God we have a pastor. Meanwhile, the pastor was a publicity secretary to Ronald Bonke then. That was when Ronald Bonke came. So the man was traveling all over Nigeria. So it was the assistant pastor that was there. So they said, okay, I should go and head the church. So they said, we can't leave this place. So this is a big place, 5-star hotel. We have a lot of members. They said, welcome. So I said, God, why did you bring me to this?
Hmm.
So one of the ministers now said, okay, we're not going to leave this area. They have a big house, 2 houses, that they have a parking lot that maybe we can use it. Everybody said, no. We can't use that place. We can't use parking lot. We have been using big hotel. We need to go and rent a big hotel. We don't have money. We are owing. So, I was a young pastor. That was my first parish. So the area pastor, I now went to him. And I said, okay, I'm going to go and meet the landlady. So they met with the landlady. The landlady now said, okay, I need to talk to my tenant first. I said, thank God that the mama even agreed. So when they talked to the tenant now said, okay, we're going to be moving our car every Sunday. It's a big compound, but we don't want people to be making noise. So this is our rest day, Sunday. So the mama now said, okay, if you guys want to do VG, maybe Friday, you can use my living room. It's allowed. To cut the long story short, Auntie B, that's my mother-in-law today.
Oh my goodness.
I,
Oh
I,
dear.
I don't know my wife from nowhere.
You carry church to her parents' house.
My wife goes to household of God. Yeah, she works. When we're having, redeem, when we go there by 6 o'clock, we start our workers meeting. My wife will just walk by us. We open the door, open the gate, and say, good morning, everybody, and she will go.
She go to her church.
They go to her church, Christ Church, where I'm in redeem.
Okay.
Yes, and that's my mother-in-law today. Although
Wow.
she's late, she was a blessing to us.
God
And
bless her.
so that's
God
how I
bless her
met my
soul.
wife. I didn't know her from nowhere. Yes. So I'm gonna say two things. Number one, if you want to get married, you must make up your mind to remain married.
Committed.
Yes. As soon as you are swear you are being authorized, you are making that oath, reading that oath.
Yeah, taking your vows.
Yes, reading your vow.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Ernest will testify to this, will attest to this. You must make up your mind that you want to get married to one woman. That must be at the back of your mind. And that will have been determined before we say I do. It's a process. You met somebody like the I just gave you my own situation. I met my wife. It's not as if we got married the same day. I didn't even know. It takes a while getting to know each other, knowing family, you know all the process. I don't want to go to that. But as soon as you are reading the vow, you must be conscious and say, yes, I do. You I do must remain I do.
And that's for both parties that are getting married,
Yes.
right? Somebody is asking. Yeah.
Both parties. Number
Yeah.
2, which is very critical.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes. It's a give and take.
Compromise.
Let me go. I'm going to include you, Auntie B, as well. Let me break it. You must respect each other and your vision and goal in life. You know, I took time to listen to Brother Ernest. I'm going to give an example of my wife. My wife was at Ife, was doing her MBA program. She was a senior manager at a car company in Nigeria. In fact, she started the business with the boss. The boss started with 5 cars. The boss now is the one in charge of Toyota Nigeria. So she was doing an MBA. She got married. And now yanked her from Nigeria and brought her to America to come and be a nurse. Auntie B, you were in Nigeria. You had a vision. You had a goal in life. If your husband did not allow you, you can't be here. You can't be here and be assuming that you say, no, a Bridget, you can't do this. Either you go or we just say, you can't be here. You are fulfilling your vision in life now. So if my wife would leave everything, she abandoned everything and come with me to America. Auntie B, love though is not more than that.
So it was you that had the vision to come to America.
Yes.
She never wanted to come to America. She was okay in Nigeria. But because she was committed, because the first point you gave is being committed to say, I'm doing this for life.
Yes, you must make up your mind. Yes, and say,
I'm doing it for life. And the second one was compromise.
Yes, you must respect each other, vision, and goal in life. And you know, I gave you an example of you yourself, Auntie B.
Yes, sir.
You knew you have this thing in life that you want to do. And you know, the problem, you know, like I've taken time to look at Nigerians. 80% of Nigeria in obodooyinbo, they had first degree back in Nigeria. Am I right?
Yes, that's correct.
That's why they can strive here and go back to school.
That's
and
correct.
You went to Ife.
Yes,
before you can do sociology or social worker, whatever. That prepare you to prepare yourself. So most people that comes here, they have one thing, they have a goal. Yes, your wife is not just there as a baby maker. Yes, she has her own goal, she has her own vision. Auntie B has a vision to set up a platform. Yes.
So it's supporting one another's goals and vision.
You must. Auntie B does not say because she's working with the government and now throw away her vision and say, okay, that's why we are here, Auntie B. You are even sponsoring our vision, like Abraham said.
Amen.
Yes. So if my wife will abandon, I'm going to use the word abandon our own career, our own life, and come down here with me, and she's doing nurse, you are just there to collect paycheck, you know, you are not saying Pele, I was work or whatever, you know. How do you quantify love? Let's start from that, Auntie B. How do you quantify that a man loves you? If the man, even though you have abandoned everything, you come down here, you know that will be ringing on her head. She talked to people over there in Nigeria.
Yes.
She talks to her mate. She knows how they are moving.
She was a boss in Nigeria. She didn't need to come abroad, but she left that life because of the marriage, because she was committed to building a life together.
Okay, let's take it to another level, Auntie B. Apart from my wife, everybody has a goal, has a vision in life.
Benny.
So if you are going to a marriage, you are going to say, okay, what do you? That's why I gave an example of you, Auntie B. I said you have your own vision.
Yes.
Yes, your husband supported you, your children supported you, and that's why you are here. So everybody has that. You know, marriage is not competition. You know, one of my friends is a tax preparer. She told me, she said one of the clients, the man earns 75,000 per annum. You know how much the wife makes? The wife makes 750,000. And they fight jointly together as a B. 35,750. So marriage is not a competition.
Yes, it's a
That's
partnership.
where the problem comes. Yes.
It's a partnership. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much, brother Patrick. Thank you for that. You're giving us some solid points. I'm gonna ask Brian Ernest, because there was something we were discussing in the last, I think the not the last show, the one before the last show, where a brother on this platform who lives in America, he lives in Chicago, he's having issues with his family or with his wife, and it's around finances. And we talk generally about how one of the main problems in marriage is finances. So I want you to address that from a financial point, because it seems like, especially for obodooyinbo marriages, when we come here, people start making money. There's a big problem. How should young people who are getting married, how should they navigate these things when it comes to money, so that it doesn't become a problem in their marriage? Using your own experience, you know, should there be joint finances? Should they do together, or should they be 50-50? I mean, what is your advice?
Okay, Auntie V, thanks. What I will have to say, by God's grace, October 10th this year will be our 25th wedding.
Wow.
So
25th.
we have been married for 25 years.
Right, Patrick, yours is 20 something as well. Is it 20, how many years?
21.
21, okay.
So I think to some extent, I think I'm qualified to speak about marriage.
Very, very overqualified.
So, and I'm going to speak from my personal perspective, what has worked for me. And what I'm going to say is, first and foremost, is before the issue of finance, I see finance as the symptoms. Finance issues are symptoms. They are not the root causes of marriage issues.
Okay.
The first is, what's the foundation of your marriage? For every structure that we stand, foundation is very key.
Absolutely.
So foundation is driven by purpose. Marriage is mystical. Marriage is spiritual. Marriage is the only institution that was ordained by God. And that is why God likened marriage to Christ and the church. So the only classical example God could give about marriage was to liken marriage to Christ and the church.
Benny.
Good. So marriage is about what you will see. Marriage is about faith. When two people come together, something will shift. The state you met yourself will definitely shift. It can either be for the best or for the worst. So when you are getting married to somebody and you are marrying that person on the basis of what you are seeing now, there's something is wrong. The foundation is wrong ab initio. Because what you meet will certainly shift. When I got married to my wife, October 10th, 1998, it was 9 months after my National Youth Service Corps.
You still remember the date after 25 years. Only few men remember the date they got married. That's
October,
how intentional you are, bro, Ernest.
9 months after my National Youth Service Corps. I had no job, no career. So my wife took a leap of faith. So she married me for the future, not what she was seeing, because what she was seeing was nothing.
Amen.
And that is the foundation of marriage. Why are two people coming together? So we started this journey on ground zero. In fact, we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment, which I could liken to a room and parlor, because the square feet was not up to a 2-bedroom, but it was configured to be a 2-bedroom. And we had nothing. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. Not a TV set. I didn't even have a tabletop or a gas burner, nothing. The only thing I had when I got married was my bed. In fact, interestingly, when the carpenter, the furniture guy, did my bed, it was a 4x6 bed. When he brought the bed, something fundamentally went wrong. You know what, Auntie B? The bed could not size the room, it became too big.
It's how you remember these details, Brian. The details, the small details that you remember.
So we had to take the bed back and reduce it to 3x6.
Wow.
And amended it to the size of the room.
That's how small the room was.
Yes. So that is the classical graphics I'm going to give how we started this journey 25 years ago.
Amen.
And 25 years down the line, God has blessed us.
Amen.
So there's nothing I have today that is mine. I call my wife Ukinebo. That's the name I gave her. But most people actually think that's her name. And what is Ukinebo in Benin? It means my rising star. She brought sunshine. She brought life into me. Her coming into my life brought all the things about life. Amen. So that foundation is solid. So nothing is going to shift it along the way. So
you don't feel like there's no, this is mine, this is yours, or all that?
Yes.
Nothing.
So it's very key. And you can check with my wife and I lie not. All the years I worked, my wife was a public servant. She worked in federal civil service in Nigeria. Not till today we speak, I never one day asked my wife what was her paycheck. My principle in life is that it is my glory to provide for my family. I am glad and I'm excited to provide for my family. And once I have that at the back of my mind, God will provide me the resources, because that is who I want to be. All the things my wife has done in our home in 25 years are things she voluntarily did for us by herself. I don't give her a task. I don't give her a bill that this is yours to pay. Even we've been abroad now for close to 3.5 years. That principle has not shifted because we left Nigeria. We are still who we are. So the issue of finance, like I said, is a symptom of how do you see yourselves? Because marriage is about two living people coming together and they become dead.
One.
And you can't be living and be one. So if you are married, your old self is dead. Two people become one. So you both died and one person started existing. So when you start thinking about this is my money, this is your money, then something is fundamentally wrong with the foundation. So I will want people to treat the essence of their coming together. If you treat the foundation, the issue of money becomes very, very easy to deal with. But once you don't treat that foundation, you see yourselves as partners. People see marriage as partnership. It is wrong. Marriage is not partnership.
What is it? It's a covenant.
It's a covenant.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is not for small boys or small girls.
Mm-hmm.
Just like,
Somebody is asking a question, Brother Ernest. Sorry to cut in. A few people in the comment section have asked that you should please explain what you mean by the foundation. What do you mean? For young people who are not married yet, especially because this was requested, and these young people are not married yet, Gen Z. Can you break it down? What do you mean by the foundation of the marriage?
okay, when you meet a woman, why are you choosing that this is the person you want to spend your life with?
Mm-hmm.
Because like Brad Peter said, God keeping both of you alive, you're going to be with this person for 50 years
Mm-hmm.
minimum. So you must be intentional of the person you want to bring into your space that you want to
Mm-hmm.
spend the next 50 years for. So that will form the crucibles of who you want to commit your life with.
Mm-hmm.
So you must be deliberate in how you pick the person you want to tie yourself to.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean by foundation.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just wake up and you pick someone and you say, this is your partner. You must remember that this is not a partnership, it's a covenant you are entering with someone, and it requires discipline, it requires commitment. So the key is, why are you getting married?
Why?
Why are you
That is the
tying
question.
yourself to this man or to this woman? Why?
Hmm.
Which is why I said marriage is about what you will see, not what you are seeing now. Because
Mm-hmm.
what you are seeing now is ephemeral, it's going to go away. You can
Mm-hmm.
meet a man with 2 cars, chances are that it could become 3 or it becomes 0.
Benny.
It never remains the same.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that should form the basis of your foundation. What are your value systems? If I may bring it down a bit,
Mm-hmm.
what is the value system you have? Why are you picking Mr. A or Mrs. A as the person you have chosen to spend the rest of your life with? Is a commitment. It is something you should take, a decision you are taking deliberately. That's what I mean by foundation. If the foundation is wrong, every other thing you're going to see that comes on top becomes cosmetic. It can never be repaired, because the Bible says that if the foundation be broken, what can the righteous do? Absolutely nothing. The foundation is key. Once the foundation is right, every other thing will fall into place.
Thank you very much, sir, for that. So somebody is asking a very interesting question here, but I think the question I don't know if it's a rhetoric question, because I think it's straightforward. Like, you already have the answer, and the person is saying, guys, if you have any question, just put it there, because we're talking about marriages now. How do you do marriage in this day and age that it will stand the test of time? So this person, you is asking a question which I think is, to me, is self-explanatory, but I want Brother Patrick to answer it. And they said, what about where there are differences in the foundation? For example, when one person is genuinely committed and the other is playing games, or maybe they have ulterior motives. One person is committed, the other person is not.
All right. Let me just start with that one. Yeah, Auntie B, maybe you must have heard. We are in the age of the construction. You know what I mean by that?
No, sir.
Yes. You know, this is an age where the Gen Z and the millennials, your millennial, what they call them, there's lack of faith. This is the age where people promote to be an atheist. Yes. They have their own set of religion. You understand? People, they worship God their own way. That's what we call age of deconstruction. They
Right.
don't believe in the old Christianity. You don't have to be this. We have a lot of people, you know, man marrying each other. They are pastors, you know what I mean? So, and it is affecting the Gen Zs and the millennials. And you know, the father at home, the presence of father at home played a great role in forming the faith of the children. a home where there is no father, a home where the father does not believe in God, a home where they don't go to church, because the father is a role model. So the children are going to take on to the father. And looking at what is going on now in this generation, people can do whatever they want. They don't have to go to their father's church. They don't even go to church. The father doesn't believe. So they use their father as a role model. Yes.
So I said to that person, sorry, sir. And what
let
I
me,
said, yeah, finish, Uncle.
let me
Finish.
tie it together.
Okay, sir.
So there's a deep connection between faith and marriage. Yes. So anybody that comes from a disjointed family, getting married to somebody that's of faith, there's going to be an issue. Yes. There's going to be an issue.
Okay.
Yes. Somebody that believes, okay, this is marriage, I'm not going back. Yes. And somebody that has come from a family that, from a single parent, there's no father, nobody, no role model, there's going to be an issue. That's why I said there's going to be a deep connection between faith, being a Christian, coming from a home that we have father and mother, coming from a home that we have single parent. There's a big difference. If you guys meet together, you need to find a common ground. Yes.
Okay.
And embrace marriage and decide, and it has to do with God. Being a Christian, it goes a long way. And to be, it has nothing to do with age this time around. It has nothing to do with it. Our background play a great role in our marriages.
Our behavior, yeah.
Yes, in our behaviors.
And
it goes into our marriage as well.
All right. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna give you. Let me summarize. Let me give you an example. One of my cousins he just graduated from law school in Nigeria, and he got married to somebody that's been here in America. And that one is elderly, so the lady came down here. And you know what the man told her? Okay, I don't want you to work now. Can you just go to school? And this lady is smart. And to be, in less than 3-4 years, she got her RN, she got her nursing degree. Even though she was having babies then, you know what happened? She got a job in the hospital. And when she got her first pay, and in our Nigerian meeting, you know what? One woman called her to side and said, you know what we do in America here? Don't let your husband know how much you are earning.
Yes.
This lady called me and said, Uncle, I can't believe. He said, no. What? She said, no, what are you talking about? This man that laid his life for me, I've never worked for once. You told me not to let him know my paycheck. Said she couldn't believe it. She told me. You can see a woman telling somebody, don't let this man. This man worked for more than 20 years, has been in America, has been living in an apartment. With this, my younger cousin, they bought a house. So you can see what is going on. Being influenced by somebody else.
Yes. Outside influence. That's outside influence. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm coming to you, Bra Ernest. I want you to also talk about that. I think what that person was trying to say, I don't know if they are married yet. Me, I just said in the comment section, I said, if you are not married yet, and you seem like the one that is going to be committed, and the other person has ulterior motive, they are not committed, then walk away. Because this is what you were saying about the foundation. So because it seems like you are unequally yoked already. But if you're already in the marriage, that's another thing. So I don't know. What do you say about a situation where, one person is committed, the other person has ulterior motives, or they are not committed? How can they work through that?
Yeah. I wish it was possible, because just the way you are thinking is also what is playing through in my mind. Is this a relationship that has not, formed into marriage? At what point is this person noticing a no commitment from the other partner? Are they already married, or they are in courtship? Because if they're already married, then there's a disconnect already, because ab initio, from the very beginning, before you get into settling down or picking a life partner, uh, these things should have been settled from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, I stand to be corrected. I always believe that women don't just change along the line and becomes non-committed. Rather, also with men, when people come into a relationship and they are true to themselves, it will always play out. So when somebody comes up and says someone is committed, the other person is not committed, there's something we don't know. Yeah,
Yes.
it's not the whole puzzle. We see what is coming out.
Yes,
But
and particularly because we don't know whether they are married yet or not.
yes,
Anyway,
yeah,
I'm just going to jump through that one because I think Brad Patrick already addressed it.
yes.
Joy, somebody called Joy said, "How can you deal with intrusive and controlling in-laws in your marriage?" Because one of the problems why marriages are also breaking up very quickly for those of us from Nigerian background, African background, is the in-laws. In-laws in certain cultures are too involved in marriages, and I often think that in some cases, we had this very huge debate a while ago here when this thing was trending on social media, that your wife is not your family. I don't know if you heard about it. I think it's around the time that Hakimi or whatever, that footballer from Morocco,
Hmm.
um and that news came out that all his assets are with his mom, and that the ex-wife cannot, they are divorcing and she cannot get anything because he doesn't own anything. And later we found out that it was not even true. That thing is just is a fake news. But a lot of Nigerians got on that debate, and oh boy, it was hot. And you start seeing men saying like, my your wife is not your family. I had a long conversation, fights with so many people on different platforms about this. Your family is your father, mother, and your siblings. Your wife is an outsider. They can leave you anytime. So this person called Joy is asking this question: how do you deal with that?
Okay.
Let's even look at it from the angle of people that are marrying. They are just getting married. What advice would you give them to ensure that in-laws doesn't become a problem that will separate? Because in-laws have broken a lot of marriages. Oh, they have.
Uh, Auntie B, it's quite interesting. Uh, uh, the way people see the concept of marriage. Uh, I'll go back to the foundation of marriage. God caused Adam to have a deep sleep, and out of Adam, he created the woman. And when Adam woke up, that was a present, a gift that God gave to Adam. So the question is, even when you are taking your marital vows, he said, a man shall leave
Mm-hmm.
his father and mother
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
shall cleave unto his wife. So
Yes.
the person who does the living is the man.
Yes. I've
So
often wondered, Brother Ernest, why did the Bible not say that a woman should leave?
good. Because the woman is already part of the man. The woman came out of the man.
Good answer. Wow. Wow.
The woman
The
is not
woman is already part of the man.
already part of the man, because God caused man to fall asleep, and he took one of the man's rib and he created the woman.
Hmm.
So he is the man that is supposed to live.
Hmm.
So a man is supposed to take the blow, take the defense for the wife. When you see marriages where there are intrusiveness from either the father-in-law, the mother-in-law, the family people, the responsibility, it is the man that created that environment.
Hmm.
I have been married for 25 years. My siblings know that you don't cross the line when it comes to my wife. My mother, I
Yo.
still have
Chai. Chai. Chai, Ernest, my body is sweeting me as you are speaking. It's like I told you this before. I can listen to you all day.
Auntie B, I will have to
Eh?
make a comment too after Brian.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
by God's grace, I still have a father, I still have a mother.
Wow.
They know when it comes to my wife, don't go to that area. Because I defined it from day one of the marriage.
Hey, define it. Boundaries. Set it. Youngest.
But when you don't define it and you see your wife as a partner, this is what happens. And it's very interesting when I see men seeing their wife not being part of them as partners. And the question I ask men is, the day you took the marital vow, you sold off your life to your wife. That's the truth. We are just being silly. We are just kidding when we think we still own ourselves. If you are not ready to die and give your life to another person, a woman you call your wife, don't get married. When you are married, you stop existing. You are dead. Because the question I ask is, how many of us come home and our wife presents food to us and we tell her, have a taste of the food before I eat? How
I
many
made
of
that
us?
example. I made this example in my last show about how people are hiding money and fighting over assets when you are eating food and sleeping on the same bed and
So
you trust the person not to buy you before morning.
So you see you see how we deceive ourselves. The same woman you are talking about now, you returned from work last night. She presented food to you, and you ate it with faith. That is faith. You just believe. That is faith at play. You just believe that this is my wife. She loves me. This food she's giving me, I
It's not going
trust.
to harm him. It's
I
not going to harm me.
good. I trust her. So if you have that level of trust, what is material resources that you can trust?
Hey. Did I say this or I didn't say this? Did I say this or not when we were doing the last show and I was telling you people when I got emotional about, all this fighting for property, fighting for money? God will
So
bless you.
that is essence of what I would say, that intrusiveness that comes, I put the man that he is responsible. It is the environment you have created, is the boundaries you did not set, is how you have presented your wife to your family, that she's not part of you, that she's your partner, that your family comes first before her. She comes first. Once you get married, your wife becomes number one.
Pastor Shola put it this way. He said, your wife is you.
Correct.
He said, your wife is you. She's not another person. You and your wife, you are the same person.
Absolutely.
Wow. So what you are saying in summary, Ernest, is that once those boundaries, you set it from day one in your own case, and your family already understand that Auntie Gloria is a no-go area. If you try anything, brother will not be happy. They respected those boundaries that you set for 25 years and give her the honor and the respect she needs. So your sister-in-law or your sister will not come to America now, or your mother, and you have to leave. Let's say most of the cases I've heard, they will say that the woman is sleeping in the sitting room because the mother-in-law is sleeping in the bedroom.
Absolutely. I mean, I tell my siblings, I tell my mom that the level of love you showed my wife is a demonstration of the level of love you have for me. Show how you love me, show it to my wife. You can't love me more than you love my wife. I will see the level of love you have for me with the level of love you have shown to my wife.
It's usually the other way around, though. I see a lot of brothers on social media saying, if you love me, you will love my mother. If you love me, you will love my family. But
Absolutely turning the table overboard. That's not true. It's supposed to be the other way. If your mother truly loves you, he will show that love to your wife.
thank you very much, sir. Okay, Brad Patrick, you wanted to say something about in-laws.
Yeah, I quite agree with brother Ernest, but however, I like being practical and to
Right,
be. So
sir.
when it comes to the issue of in-laws, the husband and wife would have to make a decision. I'm going to give you a practical example.
Yes, sir.
If they give birth to child, the mother-in-law is alive, the father's, the man's mother is alive, the woman's mother is alive, they want to come, for example,
Yes, for
you
Mugo.
have to make a decision. How long is your mom staying?
Mm-hmm.
That's a very big issue, Auntie B, and that has caused a lot of havoc in Obodooyinbo.
Oh yes. Oh
Yes.
yes.
How long is your mom staying? Who is coming first? Is it your mom? When are they going to go? Auntie B, we just said this thing like that. This right, but it has caused. I'm going to give you an example. I have somebody that they started a big church in. I'm not going to mention the state in America. Because of this issue, both of them are ordained pastor. Auntie B, they are no more. Because this, whatever the mother-in-law says, that is all hold up in their house. It's not a small issue. And the man put his leg down. He said, "Not nobody can tell him anything except whatever
His
his mom."
mother.
Yes.
Yes, they are
And
men
we have
like
had
that.
cases of even women saying, "No, it's only my mother."
Yes.
So let's balance everything. Like I said, both partner must sit down and say, it might be a very difficult decision. Yes, this is what we are going to agree from the onset. Yes, this is what we are going to agree. This is what we are not going to tolerate. Yes, it must be said and finalized so that in later you can go back. This is what we agreed on. This is what we don't agree on. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Really, really appreciate. Guys, are you enjoying this discussion? Eh? I think sort of show are more valuable even than doing all these hot topics. Look at what you are learning. If you've not given us a thumbs up, not a single person has given a super chat. Look at the gems that they are dropping. No super chat, no like. You put over the farm. Come on now. Look at the gems that Brother Patrick is bringing. Look at what Brother Ernest is bringing. So I'm going to take this question very quickly, but I still have two topics that are two aspects. I'm going to talk about leadership and I'm going to talk about Kerewa. We cannot do but talk about Kerewa. But first, I'm going to take this question by Ernestina. She said, please, what can a woman do to show that she loves her husband? What can you do to show that you love your husband? But Patrick, go first, then we'll come to Brian Ernest.
That question is how do I call it? It's a general question. You number
Yes.
one,
How do
yes,
you
you
I think
must know
she
what.
means how do you demonstrate your love for your husband?
Yeah, Auntie B, that's so easy. You must know your like. Just for women, you must know your love, your husband love language. Number one, you must respect your husband. Every man deserves respect. The Bible says that you should honor your husband. Meanwhile, man, love your wife. It doesn't mean culturally you must be kneeling down, you must be calling him daddy or whatever, but you must show him a sign of respect. When you are
Yes.
discussing, you must not nag, argue, you talk to each other respectfully.
Yes.
If there's anything a man craves in life, it's respect. I just gave an example of a partner, one making 75,000 American, one making 750,000. This millionaire in Nigeria, billionaire, what's her name? That lady, I forgot her name now. I was listening to one of her interviews. At times, when she and the husband are having, they are angry with each other, one way or the other. And when she's dressing up, she wants to zip her bra when I say, honey, come and help me. Despite the fact that they just argue. He showed they are human. They must say, okay, why did you want, please just help me. You want me to go and call somebody, for them to kind of say, okay, we still love each other. Maybe she want to zip. She's wearing Nigerian dress. She want to zip up. Say, okay, honey, can you help me zip it? The man say, you don't start with that. That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
there must be that number one is respect.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you do without respect, man, Even though you go and do your hair, go and do all the make buy the bed, the man will just look at you, say, who are you doing this for?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the
Okay.
ultimate thing you must do. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, it's not by kneeling down. No, 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 no. A lot of respect, you know. Let him have peace. Peace is very important for man.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
listened to one of the that's what we call nothing box. A man might just come back from work and just sit down. You don't know what the
Mm-hmm.
man has gone through at
Mm-hmm.
work. He may not want to say, most men don't talk and to be. You might just
Yes.
want to sit and begin to think about what happened, you know.
I think nothing. Mm-hmm.
Yes. You might just go,
Mm-hmm.
oh, what's going on? Just hug him or whatever. It goes the
A
other
long
way
way.
around.
Mm-hmm.
Like one thing I feel, Auntie B, if they ask me to leave work today, in as much as I call my wife and say, honey, come home, I know I'm going to get another job. I'm not going to keep myself over it. Well, as long as there's peace at home, I'm covered.
You're good. You're
I'm
good.
good.
Mm-hmm.
They
Thank you
can
so
let
much.
go, employer can hire and fire.
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
even as long as there's peace at home,
Thank you, sir. Somebody is making me laugh, bruh. Sister Ajibala, please don't make me laugh. Sister Ajibala is saying, Brian Ernest, please, do you have a senior brother that share your values and is looking for a mature spouse?
oh,
You want a duplicate of brother Ernest? Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna move on very quickly now. Thanks for that comical break, Sister Jibala. I'm going to come to you, Brian, and I'm asking about leadership. So we are learning today a
Yeah.
lot that the man, the leadership is very important in families. The man as the head of the family is the head of the home, is the head, is the leader. And women are complaining today that there is a lack of leadership skills. How do we handle this? How do young men, especially because again, I'm referring to the young Gen Zs that want to learn how to do marriage so that they don't become mongo parts. How do they demonstrate leadership in their home to be able to earn respect? Because Patrick just talked about respect, but it's difficult to respect some people because of their behavior. It is very, very difficult. Today on social media, I was reading about a man in Nigeria who brought this small Ileya they are doing, Ileya Muslim holiday they are doing in Nigeria. The wife traveled to go to their village for Ileya. He brought his girlfriend to his matrimonial home. They got into a fight, and the woman just deleted her somewhere in Ogun State. So what I'm saying is that I've seen this happen in real life. It is so difficult because of certain character and behavior to get to for some women to respect some people. How do young men learn to lead by example so that this respect will be easy for the women that they are married to respect them?
Okay, thanks, Auntie B. Before address the subject of leadership in a home, I would just want to add something to the last question Bra Peter,
Patrick, Brother
Bra
Patrick,
Patrick attended to, which talked about how women can show love to their husband.
husbands, yes.
I think two key things I want to add there will be uh, the woman is supposed to be, the Bible refers to the woman as a virtuous woman. And who is a virtuous woman? You are supposed to create an environment. Women are known as incubators. When you give women things, they bring out the best out of it.
Mm,
So that is what men expect from their wives. A woman should give an environment to a man where he can excel, his best can come out, he can maximize his potentials.
mhm,
Give him an environment where ideas can budding of ideas, support his vision.
mm,
Because the truth is, the extent to which a man will go is prepared by the environment and the support that the wife at home gives to him.
gives him at home, yeah.
Yes. So, which is why once the woman knows that if this man progresses, the home is going to progress. Then it becomes a teamwork, and everybody benefits at the end of the day. I just felt I should add that.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. To talk of leadership, interestingly, I hear a lot of men complain that my wife does not respect me. And when I hear such statements, most times I laugh. And this is the reason. You don't demand leadership. You don't demand respect. You earn it.
Hmm.
When I hear a man says my wife does not respect me, then I want to go to the root cause, not the symptoms. Most times it is the symptoms we see,
Hmm.
but the root cause is, have you demonstrated you are a leader?
Hmm.
Because women are natural followers.
Hmm.
If you create an environment of leadership, and what is leadership? You are a visionary in your home. Your wife can go to bed that this plane you are flying will not crash. And if for any reason we lost altitude, there is parachute that we can all eject from the aircraft and still have a safe landing.
Hmm.
Chances are that she's going to respect you.
Hmm.
If you don't create that environment, you don't create that vision, you don't show that commitment. Who is a leader? A leader is the last person to take, not the first to take.
A leader is the last person to take, not the first person to
To
take.
take. For 25 years of my marriage, I give the best to the best cars in my home is driven by my wife.
Hey.
What kind of leader are you? You want to drive a brand new car and you buy your wife a third hand car,
Or the one you discarded. I
or the
know
one
one
you
person
or the
is
one you
the one that is having issues. He will give his wife
or
and
the
go and
one you
buy another
discarded.
one.
So women learn so much from the environment. Women are smarter than us. They are studying. What are the unseen things, the messages you are sending to your wife? That is what shows the kind of leader that you are. How committed are you? Like I said, commitment takes a lot. When a soldier leads a platoon and they are in distress or they are in hunger, he is the last to take. That is what makes him the leader of the platoon. You cannot be the first to take in your home and you say you are a leader and you expect to get your wife's respect. Something is fundamentally wrong. Leadership takes discipline. To whom much is given, much is expected.
Absolutely.
You must be disciplined. You must know that you are a brand, which is why most times I say people who are on the entertainment industry, those who carry brands, much is expected from them. It's like I
It's
tell
good.
people that you cannot be a public person and you want to operate a private life. The day you choose to become a leader, you cannot operate a private life. Your life becomes open to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So you must have at the back of your mind that as a leader in your home, it takes discipline, which means you don't exist on your own. You exist for someone. You exist for your wife. So your actions, they must be deliberate.
Hmm.
You must not put yourself in a compromising position because you are answerable to somebody who is your wife. The day you got married, you no longer live of your own. Someone owns you. You are responsible to somebody. That is leadership.
Hmm. I mean, it's interesting that you're saying something about owning, because somebody just asked a question. Tina just asked this question. Please, what is your view? A lady is of the opinion that she owns the husband, that he belongs to her, and she to him. But the husband is of the opinion that he belongs to nobody, not even in marriage. And
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Absolutely incorrect.
mhm,
Your wife owns you. You don't live for yourself.
hmm,
You are responsible to her. It takes discipline. There are no excuses. You must tell God deliberately that I don't want to. He said, he that breaks the edge, the serpent will bite. You must consciously work out that salvation of yours with your wife with fear and trembling. So that is what leadership is all about. But most times we miss it because we think leadership is about ruling over your home. No. Leadership is about you be committed to your home. Leadership is about you be disciplined to know that you don't own yourself. You belong to someone, and your actions and inactions will affect the other one. That is leadership.
Thank you so much for that. Oh my God. Wow. I said it before. I don't know how busy you are, but I think, Brian S, you need to come to YouTube and start teaching. The reason this is the second time I'm saying this to you. I don't know if you remember. I did say it to you last year when you were here, that because there's a lot of so much negativity about marriage on the internet now. You hear things like alpha females, you hear things about red pill, alpha male, all these ideas and ideologies. People are confused, they are listening to the wrong thing, they are against one another. The gender is almost like everybody is like this, fighting one another, saying different things. Yet those people, most of these people that running around the internet, especially people who have been married, maybe their marriage didn't work or whatever, maybe somebody did something to them or they perceived that somebody cheated them or something. They run around and the narratives are so bad these days about this marriage. So men definitely need a lot of positive, examples, learning from men like you, Ernest. I think you should consider starting a YouTube channel. I can guarantee you that people will listen. They will. They will listen because you are teaching it not just based on your own very successful experience of being married 25 years. You're also teaching it from a point of view of a Christian man who understands the principle of a covenant called marriage. So thank you very much for that. I don't know. Did you want to say something, Patrick, about leadership before we go to the next point?
Yeah, I'm gonna say one or two things.
Yes, sir.
Leadership has to do with being a spiritual leader at home. And like about 2 or 3 weeks ago, the Holy Spirit ministered something to me which Brother Ernest repeated. Even here in America, let's forget about marriage. Let's talk about obodooyinbo anywhere. Let me give you an example as an American. America, you are not entitled to anything. You must earn it. Auntie B, you are not entitled to have 1,000 viewers at the show. You earn it.
Yes, absolutely.
Just like leadership, you must earn it as a leader. I know somebody says something. Only what makes a leader at home is the ability to forgive. Because even in marriages, people operate at their own level. Yes. Your wife, your children, they operate at their own level. And what makes a leader, even at home, is the ability to forgive. And that is what will strengthen your marriage. Auntie B. I have one sister. And I so much love that lady. Fortunately, her name is Bridget.
Oh, my namesake.
One thing she always said to me when she's the only one I talk to. Say my wife did it. You know what she would say? Patrick, pray for your wife. And the last thing she would say, Patrick, you know how to cook. Go and cook good soup and eat. And the funniest thing, even when we are not in good time with my wife, I will cook before I know it, my wife will finish my soup.
It must be sweet for her to finish it.
She'll be taking it to work.
Mm-hmm.
She will take it to work and eat.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
What about brother
Mm-hmm.
from there? The ability to forgive as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
And you must live by good example. Yes. And you
Mm-hmm.
must lead your children in the way of the Lord. Let me just round up, according to statistics, family life today. Say if I'm talking as a Christian. Let's face facts. Our 64% of our children, as soon as they go to college, they backslide.
Mm-hmm.
And to be, when they come back, what we have sown in them, they come back to faith again as
Mm-hmm.
soon as they leave college. So then don't let us be naive about that. As a leader, you must impact something in your life, your children's life, because you are
Yes.
their role model
Yes.
spiritually. And to be, well, let's talk about the husband going to church and such. He can't do something. The children are looking at it. It doesn't matter the kind of church they go in life later. It is what their dad has sown in them now. Yes, that my dad can never do this. It will go a long way to help them in the future. Yes, they may be closing the door when Auntie B is doing his program, giving him water. We may not see them giving out water, but they are learning one or two things. My mother is consistent. She
Mm-hmm.
knows what she wants. She does
Mm-hmm.
not go to party every Saturday going around and leave us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You are forming an image in their life. Even their father. My dad goes to work. He doesn't play with church. He knows what he's doing. Yes, they are reading you.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes a long way. If your kids are behaving like this now, no, don't just throw them away. By the time they grow up, you'll be surprised, Auntie B. They won't be telling you about the Lord. You'll be surprised that they are married, you'll be blossoming. It is what you have sown, your husband as leader has sown in their life.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about age of disconstruction.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is what is going on right now. But if a
Okay.
leader will be able to build his home, it's all well.
Thank you very much.
Thank
So,
you.
before I ask Brian Ernest the issue of Kerewa, because I want to talk about Kerewa because it's a massive issue today in marriages. We cannot be too holy not to talk about it. You have the other day we had a show and a woman put in the comment section that things are not going well in terms of Kerewa in her marriage. You know, you people are complaining. There are issues in the bedroom. Some people have ED, refusing to get help. People complain about cheating and how they don't want to catch any infection and all that. But before we get to the issue of Kerewa, the role of Kerewa in marriages, Brother Ernest, somebody was asking the question of why you said that marriage is not a partnership, but is a covenant. They wanted you to elaborate a little bit more on that, sir.
Okay, so let's take the literary meaning of partnership.
Hmm.
Elementary uh, economics, when you talk of types of business, you have sole proprietorship, you have partnership, which means when you are talking of partnership in business, you are talking of two people coming together with different equities.
Hmm.
Most times, the equity may not be equal. It could be a joint venture of somebody having maybe the man, businessman, 60%, businesswoman, 40%. So it becomes a joint venture. Or best case scenario in business, it could be 50-50. So you can't take that into the marriage because the question is, what's the equity two of you came with into marriage?
50-50.
So for me, when you come into marriage, both of your equity is zero,
Right.
regardless of the material things you bring.
Right.
Interestingly, I'm going to tell you this, Auntie. When I got married to my wife in 1998, my wife brought a car into our home.
I think you mentioned it here.
She was already riding a car. But I was a young man with no car because she came from a more comfortable environment than me. So the mom could afford to buy her a car. So she brought a car into my home.
Interestingly, Brian Ernest, sorry to
Yes.
interject.
Yeah.
You and Brad Patrick seem to have married women who come from comfortable backgrounds. But in today's society, we hear men saying, don't marry women that have money. Don't marry women that are educated. They have masculine energy. They will not respect you. And yet, you have successfully married women that are educated, come from comfortable background, and they've respected you. Isn't that an irony?
Yeah. Which is back to the foundation I'm going to, Auntie Bay. Now, I hear people complain that their wife brought a car to their home and the car becomes a man's car. Something is fundamentally wrong.
Or they won't touch it. In some cases, some men will not touch it. They'll say it's
Good.
your car.
Good.
I won't drive it.
Good. So ab initio, that wasn't it wasn't a threat for me because I knew where we were heading to.
Amen. Amen.
So those are the fundamentals that you must be able to live above, to be able to leverage on the kind of things you want to see happen.
Somebody saying, just imagine a man raining insults on you. How can you be able to respect him without being tempted to give it back? So that's what I was saying about when, Brad Patrick was saying respect. I said some behaviors do not, they do not earn respect. So
Yes.
this person is talking about somebody calling you names, calling you out in your names and all that. How do you respect somebody like that? That's what Blessing is saying.
So like I said, what Blessing is saying now is a symptom that we are seeing. There's a root cause to what is playing out now.
Yeah.
So when you
There is
see,
no smoke without fire.
absolutely, sir. So we can't treat the symptom. We must go to what we call the root cause analysis. Because when you deal with the root cause analysis and you treat the root cause, then the symptoms goes away.
Absolutely.
But most times what we do, we concentrate on treating the symptoms we are seeing without addressing the root cause. So the root cause analysis is always very, very key. Once that is taken care of, the problems tend to go away or they are mitigated to a greater percentage. So back to what the question was about, why I consider marriage not a partnership,
But
but a covenant. So like I said, both of you came with zero equity. So if you have it at the back of your mind that you both came with zero equity, so from day one to when the marriage, when both of you finally pass, because that's what the Bible says, everything you both own belongs to both of you. So if you don't come with that concept of covenant and you come with the concept of partnership, then you start seeing division. You start saying, this is my money, this is my money, this is your money, this belongs to me, this doesn't belong to you. But if you come with a mind that is a covenant, that you stopped existing and a new you came out the day both of you came together, started on zero equity. So from that day, you no longer own yourself. It becomes joint ownership. That's what the Bible says, we are joint heirs with God. And the only classical example God could liken marriage to was Christ
and
and
the
the church.
church. Yeah. Okay.
We are
Thank you.
benefiting from the covenant between God and Israel, and we are Gentiles today that God has crafted in, that we become Christians, and we're not on the original plan of God. So also is marriage. You came together, whatsoever equity you had, that equity becomes zero, and you start on ground zero. And once you have that concept, everything falls into place.
So when you are coming in, you cease to exist as individuals.
Absolutely.
You don't exist as, Mary or Joseph anymore, but you come together now as just be one individual now, one entity.
Absolutely. And that is why you see interesting. The woman drops her name and picks your name. This is a woman that came with a name, and she drops her name. There's something significant about that. Why is she answering your name?
Okay. So I don't know if anybody wants to say something. I'm dropping my link for just 10 minutes. We've done an hour and almost 2 hours, an hour and 50 minutes. But lastly, I wanted us to touch on Kerewa. What is the role of Kerewa in marriage? How important is it? And what should couples do when there are issues around it for whatever reasons? Brad Patrick, do you want to go?
Yeah. Yeah, career is very important and it's part of the emolument of marriage. Yeah. I just attended a wedding on Saturday. Both of them are doctor. The father of the groom is a pastor, the one that did the marriage ceremony. And when it was time for them to kiss, he said, calm them. The moment you are waiting for, you may now kiss the bride. Everybody laughed. Yes. It's very important. And you as couples, you have to discuss about it. Miles Morrow said something. He said she loved the wife that, Miles Morrow traveled a lot. I'm going to give that example. He said when he comes back sometimes, you just see the wife changing the bulb to blue. That blue color signify Kerewa time.
Action.
Yes. What I'm trying to bring out from there that is the one that initiated it. That's wisdom. Yes, the Bible said two shall become one. He said they were naked and they were not ashamed of themselves. So if you guys can be married, your body is mine, mine is yours. You should be able to discuss that. And for like we all know, for women, Kerewa is emotional. If there's any issue, you guys need to settle that, especially when it comes to a woman. Or else, as a man, you are just deceiving yourself. You understand? Settle it with that. When your wife is happy with you, yes, you'll be ready to do anything with you. Yes. Yeah, and the Bible says it's better for both of you to be married, for a man to be, instead of burning in passion. When you are burning in passion, let your wife know. When you are in need, and like Pastor Sola usually say, an African woman will never demand for it. Am I right, Auntie B? Because that's the way we are wired.
Yeah, in some cases, but sometimes, yes, we do. We do sometimes. Yeah, it's changing. It's changing.
Well, I
Yeah.
hope so. Yeah, an African woman, let me say 60% of African women, they will
Yes.
never.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially the older generation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it now depends on how you guys. Yeah, let me run. I know that was a case. It has to do with them talking about it. That was a case of one partner. They were in their 60s, early 60s. And Kerewa is allowed until people are gone. The woman just told the man, say, well, daddy, we are no Kerewa again. And the man, being a gentleman, just agreed. You know what happened to be? This woman has some eczema all over her body. And these people are rich. The woman traveled abroad, bought some cream, went to go and see doctor. The thing didn't go. She went to the doctor, to the pastor. The pastor, Nigerian women, okay. The pastor did anointing oil. Go and rub it. 3 months, 4 months, the thing didn't go to be. So the woman now came back. Say, now the pastor, I don't want to mention name, well-known pastor, said, this thing didn't go. The man prayed again. The man said, as soon as the woman was leaving, Holy Spirit just ministered to her. Said, madam, please come here. I don't want your husband to be here. Wait, what's happening? Well, now, no, daddy, no. Said, no. the Holy Spirit ministered to me. How do I know? You must do kerewa. Auntie B, when they went back and do kerewa, the woman became fresh. Everything left.
Everything set.
Yes,
Oh my God, eczema
everything set.
disappeared.
So
Mm-hmm.
it has to do with understanding between couples.
Mm-hmm.
We must not be
Yeah.
shy from it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Brother Patrick. Ola, I see you. How are you? Okay. Brianess, I'm going to come to you now. We're about to end very soon. There's somebody in the studio who will want to ask a question or so or contribute. But there's a question here. Real Life Happen says, what do you think about a man thinking he is doing his wife a favor by having Kerewa with her and using Kerewa denier as punishment? Depriving Kerewa, withholding Kerewa. What do you think about that?
Okay. It's back to what I said about foundation. I think Kerewa is something that I will call it the barometer check of your
Mhm,
marriage.
mhm. What does that mean?
If you want to check your body temperature, what do?
Okay.
You check. You go in and you run your check, and your temperature can be high or low. Or you want to check your blood pressure. You use a blood pressure testing machine. So also is Kerewa. When you see couples living in a home and they tell you they are existing for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, no kerewa, then we are back to what we call the root cause.
Mhm,
Kerewa, the abstinence from each other, or the very low kerewa activity, if I may use that word,
mhm,
yeah, is the symptom we are seeing. But the root cause is something deeper, which is why
mhm.
there is no flow of the kerewa.
Yeah.
So the absence of kerewa is a symptom we are seeing, but the root cause is something is not flowing.
Should we
So
be using it to punish one another?
it should not. That's what I'm saying. That when there is no kerewa, when you are using
Mhm,
that to punish your partner, then it means something is not going well, which is why I call it the barometer check of your marriage.
mhm.
Because a home that is healthy, a home where things are working well, kerewa will naturally flow.
Okay.
Except there are medical issues or other issues we don't know about. But
Yes.
all things being equal, once the environment is healthy, there is flow. Just like Brother Patrick said, when something goes wrong in the morning, you don't deal with it. Like I said, women are incubators. Is going to come up in the evening. So
Hmm.
if you treat the root cause, and the environment is sweet, the environment is loving, the environment is supportive, everything is running the environment, kerewa will naturally flow. So it is wrong for either of the partners to use that as a weapon, because what that just suggests is that there's a dislocation in the system. So what the denier is doing is trying to strengthen or make make a point out of what is not going right. So
So, so for young people that are getting married, you advise them to make sure that they are busy. They are keeping up that aspect of things.
certainly, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, is a barometer check.
Mm-hmm.
If that
Okay.
if that area is not active, the marriage, something is going wrong, because that's what creates the bond. It is part of the lubrication of the marriage. It's part of the oil of the marriage. It is very, very fundamental.
So you talked quite a lot about root causes. And Chidima is asking a very good question here. I know, I mean, until you know the full story, you might not really know. But Chidima is saying Uncle Ernest has talked about root causes a lot. What are examples of root causes so we can treat them early for a successful marriage?
Okay, so I'm going to going to cite examples as root causes. So
Mhm.
we see a symptom, like you just said. Now we see a symptom of a lack of kerewa. Okay, so what is the root cause? Which means there has to be communication between two of you. Are there unsettled issues that have not been dealt with? Is there unfaithfulness leading to unforgiveness? Has something been broken? Because women don't just allow things to go away. Men tend to sweep things away and let's move on. But women want things to be addressed.
Yes.
We need to
Yes.
address this issue. You need to, were you unfaithful? Did you do something wrong that is making her have a pullback? You need to sit down and address those issues. If you don't address those issues, then the root cause has not been dealt with. Then there cannot be a flow of kerewa. So for every symptom you see in the marriage, you have to go to what is the leading, what I call it, the leading causative factors of what you are, of the issue you are seeing in that marriage. And if both of you are sincere to yourselves and communication is key, most times, without we deceiving ourselves, when our wives are carrying long faces, we know why they are carrying long faces. That's the truth. But we can choose to ignore. We can choose to tell our partner, go to hell. When you are tired of squeezing your face, you will get out of it. And it snowballs into 1 day, 2 days. I have a principle I have kept in the last 25 years. I tell my wife that the time, the minutes, the hours we spend in quarreling is wasted. We can never get it back. So I want to maximize all my time. So I don't leave issues unsettled. In fact, my quarrel does not last more than 15 minutes. I want to resolve it right away. Let's move on, because life is too short to spend being unhappy.
Yes,
absolutely. I want to say something too.
You know, so that's what I mean by root causes. If you are open, you communicate, you will always know where the problem is coming from and go and treat that problem. And you said one thing about faithfulness, that today is becoming an ingredient lacking in marriage, and we see it all over the social media. And what I have to say about that is, it takes a lot to be faithful to your partner. It takes a lot. And it's God wanting to do, being a Christian, being a Muslim, being a free thinker. Christians can be unfaithful in their marriage.
Of course.
So it's God wanting to do with what you believe. He's got something to do with, back to what I said, that you don't own yourself and that you are answerable to someone, and that it takes discipline, and discipline takes a lot of commitment, and discipline takes a lot from you, which means that you should know your soft areas, you should know your weak points. Interestingly, unfaithfulness or the act of kerewa with someone that is not your partner is the only sin that God permits us that we should run away.
Is it possible to be faithful 25 years to be faithful?
It's very possible, but it takes so much
discipline.
You are going to be tempted. You are a human being,
of course,
so you must know your weak points. Run away. I give you an example that I worked for 4 years in Port Harcourt.
Yes, and you were going home every weekend.
I was going home every weekend.
Yes.
It took money from me. I spent money flying, but because I just wanted to be in the comfort of my home. So you must know your weak levers and run from it. Run. Don't stay in an environment where you can be compromised, because you are a human being. Chances are that you will break. We all have our break. So stay around your strong points and avoid your weak points. It is possible.
Thank you, sir.
It takes a lot from
discipline.
A discipline, and you must be determined that I want to do this because I have a responsibility to someone.
Thank you so much, sir. Brother Patrick, you wanted to add something there, then I'll allow Maka to talk. We are rounding up now.
Yeah, you know, living in America or obodooyinbo, as a man, I have 99.9% to cheat. Yeah, let me just tell you, but like brother Ernest said, you must be disciplined. I said, no, I've had the opportunity of counseling somebody and say, brother Patrick, where have you been when I was looking for a husband? Where were you? Like, are you kidding me? I know
Oh.
by that time maybe you wouldn't have accepted me the way I
No, they
was.
will not have accepted you because you
Yes.
don't look like what you are looking like now.
Yeah, and
Mm.
let me say this to who are those people listening to us. Whatever you are going through in your marriage now, it is redeemable. Yes, Patrick was not like this before. Yes, I am not super holy. I've attended series of marriage seminar that I have to pay money, stay in
Mhm.
hotel for 3 days. I can remember four that we didn't pay less than $1,000.
So you taught
I,
yourself and you
yes, I
attended
remember
learning.
the one we attended, and we were more than 100 people, more than 200 people in a
So
five-star hotel.
you were seeking knowledge.
Yes, and the speaker said, husband and wife, stand up, look at your face, look at each other's face, point to each other and say, you are not my enemy. We
Hmm.
look at each other, we say, you are not my enemy. My wife said, Patrick, you are not my enemy. I mentioned my wife, you are not my enemy. So they taught us a lot. During that period, you might say, but by the time you get to, you will be using those things. So if you are going through one issue, seek counsel, go for therapy, talk to people. Don't give up.
And premarital counseling as well.
Yes, premarital counseling as well. Even after, things begin to change as we go in, there'll be children. What I've always been saying, Auntie B, they say the African proverb, when two elephants fight, who suffer? It
The
is the
floor,
grass
the
that
grass.
suffer, the
Yeah.
children.
Mhm.
So don't lose hope. Yes, don't lose hope. Be there. Seek counseling. Let your partner be involved, which is very important. It
Mhm.
cannot be for one person, both of you. Yes. Don't
Thank
believe
you.
you have not offended. And both of you offended each other.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Somebody said in the comment section, forgive in advance, even before anything comes up. Let the forgiveness be in advance. Okay. Thank you so much. We're rounding up now. So just 5 minutes left because we've got 2 hours. Amaka, you are in the studio. Welcome. Where are you joining us from and what do you have to say very quickly, please?
Oh, of course, I'm in Miami.
Oh, hi. Welcome.
Hey, how are you? So I really don't have that much to say, and
Yeah.
I want to say a few things. I am so happy for seeing this. Like I don't know. I wake up and I say, what? Two guys? Okay, let me listen. I think you have quite a lot of favorite topic that I love, but this one stand out. This stand out because it is directly from married people that have been in marriage for years. It's not
Yeah.
1 year marriage, it's not 2 years. So
Mhm.
over the years, they have experienced quite a lot and
Yes.
they have known the solution. So it's for us that is looking for, oh, can we remedy this? Is there anything we can do? Oh God, I'm going crazy. I can say I want to throw this to them. Thank you, both of you, for coming to this show tonight. You have helped thousands of people, and you're gonna be keep doing this. Please, can you just come back? Maybe, Auntie, can you bring them back? Can we bring them back
Oh my
quite
God.
often? Please, can you bring them back quite often? So I
Everybody's
don't have
asking me to
anything
bring
to say.
them back. Have you bought Brother
Bring
Ernest's
them back,
book?
please.
Amaka, have you bought his book?
Please.
You
No,
need to
I
buy the
didn't
book.
know. I don't
It's
know
on
he has a
Amazon.
book.
Yeah, he has a book, The Audacious Faith. If you watch the show from the beginning,
Okay.
so you can get this book, The Audacious Faith. It's
Uh-huh.
Brother Ernest's book. I'm going to share the link in the comment section. I had it there a minute ago. Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna go grab mine. So
it's
yeah,
on
all I have
Amazon.
to say is thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really don't have anything to add.
But
Is everything you have said makes a lot of sense to me. Thank you. I appreciate. Bye, Auntie.
Bye, darling. Bye. Thank you so much. Okay. You guys, you need to grab Brother Enes's books. Yeah, Brother Enes, you haven't shared with me how to get the other one yet. Can you send the link to me on WhatsApp, please, before we end the show? Because quite a number of people have been asking. And the other one, this one is on Amazon. The Audacious Faith is on Amazon. Just go to Amazon and put The Audacious Faith and you get it there. It's only about 10 pounds or $10. So make sure you get that if you really want to support his work and you want him to come back. All of you asking to come back. You've not even liked the video. You've not gotten the book. Please get the book. Okay? Please. All right. Is it Pedita? Pedita, hi. Welcome. Please unmute yourself.
Hi, Auntie B.
Hello.
Can
Where are you
you?
joining us from?
I'm joining from America, Texas, to be
Right.
precise.
Welcome. Okay.
This is my second time calling, Auntie B. I just want to say thank you. I'm one of your biggest fan.
Thank you.
You're doing an awesome work. Thank you, Brother Patrick. Brother Patrick, thank you, and Brother Ernest. This is my first time seeing you. Thank you all for your
Thank
contribution.
you.
Awesome, awesome. But I want to. I know Auntie B always say that we all have our opinion, right, on this channel. And you talked about marriage being a covenant, and I'm thinking because when we say covenant, we're thinking about the Christian aspect of it, right, sir? Brother Ernest?
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, sorry.
Okay. Okay. So my understanding of covenant is something that involves blood. So like the old covenants, the covenant of Moses and the killing of the animals and all this stuff, and then Jesus, his blood, is the new covenant. So I think saying marriage is a covenant is a little too deep. Um, Maybe I understand. I heard your explanation, and that's a powerful explanation. But I would think marriage we should just call it like we are one. We are working as one. Maybe not partnership from the way you explained it. Maybe we shouldn't go. Maybe we shouldn't go
No,
towards
no, no,
marriage as
no.
a partner.
Let's not do maybe. Pedita, just give your
Okay,
opinion, okay?
okay. So I'm thinking that marriage should be like we are one. For the husband and wife, we are one. Working together as one. Because if we say covenant, so where there's no blood involved when we got married.
Okay, hold on. Let Brother Ernest answer that because I think you are getting it wrong. But let
Mhm.
Brother Ernest answer.
Okay. I hear you perfectly, and I think we seem to be on the same page, but just a slight disconnect. At
Mhm.
least you agree to me to the extent that you don't see marriage as partnership. That's fine.
Yes.
Good. We also agree to a point you said marriage is something very deep, correct?
Yes.
Good. So which means it is not something that is superficial.
Yes,
So
sir.
so I think where we have a bit of disconnect is your definition of the word covenant.
Yeah, I think she
Yes.
has a problem with it
Yeah,
because she's saying that covenant has to involve the sharing of blood.
Blood.
good. So the question is, do we have covenant with Jesus Christ? Do we? Is it yes or no?
Yes, we do. Through his blood. Yes.
Good. That blood was shed on our behalf. We did exchange blood with Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
The
He
blood
gave
was
us,
shed
it
on
was
our
shared,
behalf.
yeah. Mhm.
So which is why Christ or the Bible likened marriage to Christ and the church.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
the word covenant signifies something that is deep, which is what you just said.
Yeah.
So, and because you have also seen cases where people actually exchange blood in the word term, and it doesn't show deep commitments.
So, Brian, sorry, sir. Let me just say this because as she was talking, this is what occurred to me because she was talking about sharing, body, something from your body, from your vein, which she gave examples in the Old Testament, and using Christ as well. But Nimi has just, it's like she's reading my thoughts. You are sleeping with someone, you're sharing your body fluids with them. You've had children with the person. And
Okay.
what happens when a woman is having children? Do you know what happens? There's a lot of all that sharing. Okay? So I think in my mind, covenants can be used because There is so much more that a husband and wife shares. And the reason why I don't use it quite often here, normally, is because I know it's not everybody here that is a Christian. But on Christian platform, generally, it's covenant that is used to describe marriage. When you are sleeping with your husband every day, you are sharing so much more. And, blood, all that, otilo. I don't know. Maybe to you it's not enough. I don't know. But that's just my thoughts.
Okay, because Auntie B, why I'm saying this is that you know covenant is very deep, and then it might put fear in people's say a marriage that is not going well, between the couples, and this might bring a lot of thoughts to people. Oh, this is why they say there's no, some pastors say there's no divorce, no matter
Mhm.
what, because they are thinking it's covenant. I'm not
Break it.
happy in this marriage, but I cannot break it because it's a covenant. That word
Mhm.
is too deep to use to bind two people together. They can be bound as one, just as the scriptures say, and you two have become one. That should be enough. We shouldn't you know, go ahead,
So
make it so. I don't know. I
so
know I'm not saying marriage should break up, but we know sometimes it doesn't work after all has been tried and done.
mhm.
Some
So
people will
you're just
see it
thinking
like,
that some people will feel
yeah,
guilty because
yes,
if you say it's a covenant, they'll feel guilty to leave because
yes,
covenants cannot be broken.
yes, exactly.
So Chidinma said something here. He said God made a covenant with David, and there was no bloodshed in that covenant. That's a good example. Yeah. And I think Man of
Okay.
Prestige was saying something. When you said that covenant is deep, he said marriage is also deep. Man of Prestige, you're a church boy as well. So do you want to say something? Welcome, Ola.
Oh,
You're
sorry.
muted.
I didn't realize I was on the show already. Oh, can you
Yes,
hear
you
me?
are. Yes.
Okay, all right, cool, cool. Hello, Auntie B. Hello, brother, brother Patrick. Hello, Mr. Ernest. Thank you so much for the work
Hello.
you've been doing.
Hola.
Yeah, good work, good work. I only came up to support too, but now you're asking me to speak to the
Yes.
covenant thing, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's if you don't see marriage as deep, maybe you shouldn't go into it. Um, if you don't see marriage as a covenant, as in probably even deeper than covenant, because again, we're talking about the rest of your life when you do subscribe to it. I see where she's coming from.
Mhm.
This in this time and age, there's so many stories, especially with social media.
Mhm.
We only get to consume some of the negative stories that comes out of
Yeah.
marriage.
Mhm.
So it makes scientific sense to subconsciously plan your exit before you enter, right? Even in business, they teach us to exit before we enter. That means make sure you know where your profit is coming from. But this is not one of those scenarios. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
sadly, just like life itself, I see marriage and life as the same thing. It's a move of faith. There's no guarantee of anything. And what we
Mhm.
are looking for is all of these different guarantees. And your
Mhm.
only guarantee has to come from yourself. It has to come from your self empowerment, your self esteem, and anything outside of self. Then you need to be talking about your higher self, God, your connection with God, your relationship with God. If you have to plan out all of these different scenarios, make sure that this and including the words, and we have to be very careful with that. We need to see it as what it is. It is deep. It is so you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, that you're not pouring from an empty cup when you go into a marriage, because once you start to do that, then you start looking at it as something myopic, as something superficial, like Brother Ernest say, and marriage is none of that. So, and if you're talking about blood, you need blood. Yes, we do exchange blood too in so many different ways. You're going to produce
Yeah.
kids that
Mhm.
will basically have your DNA in them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how deep do you need to go? Maybe that's what we need to emphasize more.
And if she married a virgin, then definitely there's blood there.
Yes, that's the
Are
point,
you
Auntie B.
convinced now, Edita?
I'm no,
Yeah.
I'm convinced with the virgin part, but how many people marry the virgin though?
Okay, so we are being distracted with this. I
Yeah.
don't want to get into a debate around this
So,
because of time. We've already done 2 hours, so we're
all right.
making it.
Eh,
Do you have something else to say apart from this?
no, I was just going on the path that let this covenant thing don't make people feel like they are stuck if it's not working and they've tried everything to make it work. That's just my little fear in that word covenant. Not that I don't believe marriage is deep. No, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
Auntie B. Thank you so much for all that.
Thank you.
Auntie B, let me say one or two things. I quite understand where she's coming from.
Yeah,
And
she's worried that.
like Ola said, marriage is
Mhm.
very deep. And you
Mhm.
know, when even in this world, when you see men of God, Geo, divorcing their wife.
Mhm.
So let's be frank. So those that are out of faith, and when you talk about covenant, they can cite that example.
Mhm.
So if you say marriage is a covenant, why does your Geo don't have wife? Why does your Geo divorce the wife? Yes, and we don't, like Sister B audience is not limited to Christian alone.
Yes, that's why I
Yes,
tend not to use that word. I try not to.
yes. So let's be careful. Like
Mhm.
Ola emphasized, marriage is very deep and it
Yeah.
involves blood. What about baptism? Yes, that we dead in Christ and rise up. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And there's what we call marriage covenant.
Yeah, but covenants can be broken though.
Yes,
Covenants can be broken. So I think she's, because of the worry, what Perdita is saying, I understand. She's saying that it might make some people, especially if you're in a DV marriage, whereby your life is at risk, when you need to run for your life. Some Christian women might not want to leave because they believe it's a covenant and it cannot be broken. But covenant can be broken. It can. So, I mean, but we are talking about healthy marriages today. So, yeah,
yes. We're
let's leave
good.
it at that. Yeah. Thank you so much, Pedita. Okay. Ola, let me take
Ma,
Natu first, then I'll
yeah,
come to you.
take
Natu,
that to my G. Yeah.
you bought
Let
the
me
book already.
let
Good
I bought
girl.
my book. Oh. I cannot waste time. I got my book already. I'm
Good
reading
girl.
this year. I just want to comment. First of all, I want to say thank you to Brother Patrick and Brother Ernest. Like, we honestly appreciate you guys' effort to be here today. It means so much to us. And it means so much to the men listening that it can work. They are good marriages. You know what I'm saying? And so seeing this is an inspiration. So we want to say thank you for your time and for being here today. And to contribute to what the last person was trying and how worry, I want to give an example. I don't know if this is a perfect analogy to use to marriage, but I want to use school as an example. When you're going into school and you pay school fees, sometimes you don't even know what you're going into, but you just know I want to be an engineer. And then when you start seeing classes that you can't, sometimes you be like, you know what, I've started this year, I'm not giving up. Why is it that even in school, when you have carryover, you don't want to drop out? Most people that drop out, when they drop them out, that they drop out, they don't drop out on their own. Even when they are failing after 4 years, they will apply again and go back again. Why? Because they're saying it must work. I have to work through it. I have to get this certificate. It has to work. So it's the same thing with marriage. But because most times people have set up their minds for failure before they enter the marriage. If you do not work, I will come out. Why won't you work? If I go to school and not pass, I will leave. Why won't you pass? It's either you're refusing to be in class, you don't listen, and you don't do your assignment. If you do those three, there is no way you will not pass because you're doing what you're supposed to do. So it's the same thing with marriage. If we do the things that we're supposed to do, it's going to work. And somebody made an example and said, what if the other person, she was talking about if your partner doesn't want to go to counseling, and I was trying to give her, share an experience. And she was like, well, I'm glad it worked for you.
Go ahead. Natu. Uh-oh. Maybe a call came in.
She don't
Natu,
enter
you
one
jumped off.
chance.
Don't enter one chance. Okay. All right then. So if you want to purchase the book, The Potent Force or Sponsorship, send an email, please. The email address is on my screen now. Is Omoojovie, OMOOJOIVIE @gmail.com. That's Brother Ernest's email. Don't send him email asking for marital advice. So buy the book. Send an email to buy the book. The other one is on Amazon, The Audacious Faith. But the other book, Potent Force of Sponsorship, send an email to him. The email address is on the screen there. Thank you so much to everybody that has purchased the book. Yeah, let me come to you, man of prestige. We're about to end now.
Yes, ma. Can you hear me?
Yes, my dear.
Yes, this was good. This was really good. I stumbled in towards the end, maybe in the last 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and even the little I heard was really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
And it was good to hear this man of seasoned men of
Men of
experience, my
prestige.
uncles. Uh-huh.
Men of prestige.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We need more because we don't get this. We don't get this, and it's a little lonely when we're trying to share the principles and the strategies. Oftentimes, you just see trolls, people that uh, either they can't see positive in marriage because of one experience or the other, or people that just think it's a joke until later on they'll find out that this is not a joke. Marriage, like anything else, it's a big deal. It's worthwhile. That's why it takes work. And it's not. It just doesn't. It's not just work. It's work because it's like anything else that's worthwhile. It will take work. It takes perseverance. It takes endurance. It takes, you know. So those are some of the things that I heard in the last minute. I particularly liked when Mr. Ernest kept saying root cause. Auntie B, you and we had this conversation before. When you said somebody weaponized Kerewa. I said, "Let me by unweaponized." My question is, what's the root cause? What's going on there? What else is going on, right? It's possible somebody can fall out of the skies and decide to just weaponize Kerewa. It's possible. But for the most part, there are issues. There are issues that haven't been addressed. And then it's a very awkward conversation for a lot of people, even when they get older. So yeah, so I really, really appreciate the question. My question for these two gentlemen, these fine gentlemen of prestige,
You have a
is
question?
I do,
Okay.
I
Make it
do.
short. I'm
Don't
sure
let
they are
us start.
tired.
No, 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 no. It's a question that I always find interesting to hear the answers. In what year were you when you around about what year were you when you finally said, you know what, I think we might be onto something. I figured something out, right? That okay, there's a formula to this. The Gen Z always say there's no formula. Don't tell us anything.
There
Everybody
is
to each their own.
formulas. There are some fundamentals that
But
are formulas.
Gen Z to collect anyway. And so, in what year were you when you said, there's a pattern here. I figured something out, and it's consistently worked for you, even when there's crisis. Around what year was that for each one of you?
Let me go first.
Yes, sir.
you know, uh, my mother-in-law really played a good role in my life. I know the woman will always say when she was staying with us, Patrick, Fayawe Mora. It means Patrick, embrace your wife. I thought this woman was like, this mama, you are taking side of your daughter. Why are you always saying that? It was when God now opened my eyes and said, that's the only way to live with a woman. Embrace her. Yes. And that was why I said you must be forgiving. Yes. I'm gonna say 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
You must be forgiving. And let me make you laugh. It took me 15 years to know that my wife don't eat bread and beans.
Oh my gosh.
When I go to this, my wife cook beans for me. She knows I like beans. So when I go to the store and say I want to buy, say okay, he will say, "Will you buy bread? I cook things for you." I say, It was later. This woman I've never seen her eating bread and beans. She only eats plantain and beans. And when I asked her, I said, why? I said it's meant for carpenter. I said, thank God, Jesus' father was a carpenter. Let me run on with that story.
Thank God it wasn't too late when you found us, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
that was
Okay.
funny.
Ernest, over to you, sir.
Okay, thanks, man of prestige. I will tell you that the most turbulent times for me are because every marriage will go through that crescendo period. For me, the most turbulent times for us was between the third and the fifth year, the first 5 years, because one of the fundamental issues we had to deal with our first 5 years of marriage was had to do with our personality. My wife is very expressive. She tells you the way it is. I am somebody that is withdrawn. I soak things in. So my wife can speak for the next 40 minutes, and all I do, I just look at her and I say nothing. And the reason I'm keeping quiet is mine is that I don't want to escalate the situation. For me, I see it as a way of de-escalating the tension. But guess what? He never worked. Instead of de-escalating the situation, it was escalating it because she now sees my keeping quiet. For me, I thought it's something positive because I want to keep quiet. I don't want to say the wrong things. I want to soak things in. I can deal with this matter later. Let this issue go away. But for her, I say, "Oh, you are actually ignoring me."
Silent
Yep.
treatment. She took it
Yep.
as a silent treatment.
So I'm asking myself, but I'm trying to do the right thing. You are upset. I don't want to pour gasoline on this issue. So those were the struggles I had to have the first 5 years, that I needed to improve my communication more, learn to deal with issues as it comes up. Mine was more of delayed reaction, but my wife says we have to discuss it now and now. Tell me what happened. Let's deal with it. So these were personality issues, which always comes up because we are all coming from different environments.
Absolutely.
But over time, you begin to understand yourself and you begin to raise the bar up, and two of you can come to a position of a equilibrium. So that's what we went through the first 5 years. And from the 5th year, now we understand ourselves, and we were not here when we started. Today, we are 25 years.
25 years, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, my own wife called it, I was being dismissive.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Just like it wouldn't work too if you were escalating it. But there's an equilibrium, there's a balance that you're trying to strike there. You want them to feel heard, you want them to feel like you're engaging, but you also don't want to become a bass boss, because that won't work either. And this is the part that a lot of people have struggles with. Yeah, thank you, Auntie B. Let me let you go. I just wanted to come up and support the gentleman. It was good one.
Thank you
you,
very
man
much.
of prestige.
Yes, sir. All
Thank
right,
you,
sir.
Ola.
All right, yes, sir.
I appreciate you. Okay, so if you are just joining us, I've got these amazing brothers, uncles, gentlemen of prestige in the building. They've been talking to us for the past 2.5 hours. And I've got Brother Patrick that you guys know very well. Thank you so much, Brother Patrick, for coming. Married to his loving wife for 21 whole years, blessed and still counting. So it's possible to have a happy marriage. Not that issues will not arise, but it's how you walk through them. And they've given us some gems.
If you don't mind, can I say something before we leave?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks to everyone on this platform, the Obodo family who have listened today, to myself and Brother Peter.
Patrick.
Brother Patrick, we are not supermen. We are just like every man on this platform. We take no special significance in terms of what has worked for us. If it can work for us, it can work for anybody on this platform. My appreciation to everyone. First, my appreciation to Auntie B for bringing my book into this platform. And for all those who purchased the book, thank you. My appreciation to everybody. I'm really elated. And what I will say is that for those who are married and those who look forward to getting married on this platform, it is in your best interest for you to make your home and your marriage work. Marriage is like a bank. You deposit. The day there's crisis, you go and make withdrawal. If you don't deposit, you can't make withdrawal. I remember when my son was quite young, If you tell him he wants to buy something, there's no money, he tells you, but you have ATM card, let's go to the ATM.
Go to the ATM. Yes,
So I
all children do that.
yeah, so I told him, no, if you don't deposit, you can't withdraw. So also is marriage, which for those of you who will be opportune to read my book, The Audacious Faith, you will see in that book that the storms of life will come. Life is in times and seasons. The storms of life will come. Kid me not. The only thing that will stand the test of time is the value and the time you put into your family. And the first person in your family is your wife, even before your children. I make bold to say that your wife comes before your children. Without your wife, there are no children. Children are the product of that marriage. Because I've also seen a disconnect where people begin to translate their love from their spouse to their children. It is a misnomer. Both of you come first before the children, which is why they will come into the home, and after some time they're going to leave both of you. You come back to yourself.
They will leave.
So it is in your best interest to invest in your wife, because when the storms of life come, is the only person you can run to. And you will see it in the Audacious Faith. When the storms of life came, when we had a loss in altitude and we were dropping, because by God's grace, I had invested into my wife. She was ready to give back. And she didn't look back. We went through tempest. We went from living in a full home of ours. We left in Lagos, and in this city, in this town in Canada, we lived in a student apartment for 1 year, and we were sleeping on the floor, and we left a home in Nigeria. The only reason Uber can do that for you is because you have deposited in the bank.
Deposited enough.
So you will be undoing yourself by not investing in your wife and in your home, because when the storms of life come, your investment outside will come crashing. It's the one you left at home that you can count on. Amen. My encouragement to everybody here today is, those who are married, those who look forward to be married, invest in your wife. It will pay off someday. That is my encouragement to everybody. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Brother Ernest. Really appreciate you for coming. If you want to get the book, the link is in the comment section. It's on Amazon, The Audacious Faith, the one he just spoke about. Get it on Amazon. And the other book that he wrote, Brother Ernest wrote, is Potent Force of Sponsorship. I think we're going to have to bring Brother Ernest back again, because there's so much more to cover in these books that we haven't done yet. We didn't have time because obviously this show, we're talking about marriages today. But these books also deserve, a lot of discussion around the learning, especially the Audacious Faith. This one, to get it, you just need to send an email. I will put the email address again on the screen. Let me see if I can find it again. Send an email to Brother Ernest, and then it's not on Amazon yet. I think maybe it was before, but it's sold out now. Send an email to Brother Ernest. I will put everything in the comment section when the show is over, so that you can purchase yours. All right. Thank you so much for coming, Brother Ernest. I appreciate you. Brother Patrick.
Thank you very much, Auntie B.
I appreciate you,
We
sir.
really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks for the time.
For promoting us.
Thank you, sir.
Ernest has said enough. I was just going to make one statement.
Okay, sir.
I told you about my sister Bridget. The only thing she told me is, Patrick, I must not hear the word D from you. I know the Bible says you are snared by the word of your mouth. You are taken captive by the word of your mouth. You don't mention, once you are in the marriage, don't mention the word divorce. Irrespective of what you are going through. So I'm just going to say that I'm not a man of many words. I'm just going to say that. Thank you very much. I appreciate the farm.
Thank you.
Thank you, man of prestige. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Brother Patrick. We are grateful, sir. God bless you, sir.
God bless you.
I love to Auntie. God bless you.
Yeah.
Brother Patrick, Brother Ernest, people are asking for the audiobook. Have you done the audiobook for your books? Some people are asking for audiobooks. Maybe if you haven't, you need to work on that. because
Okay.
that's how a lot of people read these days. It's audio.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take note of that. Okay.
Yes. Okay. We're definitely going to bring you back. I want to talk more about, this audacious faith. This book, you should read it. You must read it. It's on Amazon. Get it. It's only £10 or 10.99 or something. It's not. It's You can read it in 2 hours. It's not a lot, but you will learn something. There's something you said today that you didn't know you were ministering to me, but you actually did. That's why words are so powerful. You said something when we started the show. You said when you are trusting God, if you're going through something, I think it was when you were talking about, how you took on that multinational and how you went through the process. You said you kept reminding God that this is not for you, it's for Him. It's not about you, it's about Him, and He cannot lose, He cannot fail. And that was what propelled your faith. You took on a multinational company, an oil giant, and you took them on for number of 3.5 years or so, and you won. It takes faith that only God can give to be able to do that. I celebrate you, sir. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I'm going to reach out. We'll come back again. A lot of people are asking for you guys, uncles, to come back, and we'll do that. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Have a good afternoon.
Thank
All
you.
right, good
All
night.
right.
God
Thank
bless.
you. My love to Sister Gloria. Tell her we miss her. I see her pretty
Always.
face on Instagram.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Have you been blessed or what? Hmm? Have you been blessed or what? Guys, when you go to church and you are blessed, what do you do? Hmm? After you finish receiving blessing, what happens? They say, eh, offering time. Blessing time. Please give us a thumbs up. You need to give this show a thumbs up. I'm going to do my best to cut out some bits and pieces of it and post it, maybe on Instagram. And I can't remember my login for TikTok. You see, I don't remember these things. I'm trying to log back to TikTok. I can't remember my login or whatever. But I'm going to try and cut it off. But it was an amazing masterclass session. Unfortunately, we didn't have 1,000 people. When we're talking about the video yesterday, come and see people. Are people willing to learn? I don't know. I don't know. But I have a few talking points for people like Brabio that just come in. This is what we learned today. This is part of what we learned. But you need to watch the show from the beginning. We learned that if you want your marriage to work, yes, you must make sure that the foundation of the marriage, why you are getting married, is the big part. Like, that's like 50% of whether the marriage will work or not. Why? The foundation is crucial. Why are you getting married? And that foundation must be driven by purpose. That's what Brother Ernest told us. Then, number two, the day you are saying I do, you see, I always take my notes. See, I have my notes. That's why I can tell you exactly, paraphrase it. The day you are saying I do, make up your mind, both husband and wife, to stay committed. Say, this marriage, I am committed. I'm not going anywhere. Where I'm going to work at it, and I'm committed, and I will not do anything that will, shake this commitment and this union. Okay? Number three, compromise. Brother Patrick told us about how you need to give and take. Give and take, respect each other's vision and goals in life, support one another, compromise. Gave us a really good example about his own life. His wife uprooted her life to come to the US for him. Support one another's goals. Number five, marriage is not a competition. It's not. It's not a competition. It's a covenant or partnership for those people who are not comfortable with the word covenant. Yeah? But I like the explanation that Brian has brought. He said, the day you marry, you cease to exist. Hi! See, Rema, look at the revelation. He said, you cease to rest. You cease, you know how people are doing marriage, they say, this clam, they shorten both names. It's like that. So your individual self has ceased to exist now. The woman does not exist, the man does not exist. You become one. You merge into one. Your wife is you. Your husband is you. He says, if you come into that marriage with that mindset, then you walk, because nobody hurt themselves. Nobody abuses themselves. Nobody insults themselves. Nobody disrespects themselves. So you must come together as one. It's not a competition. Wow, that was deep. And then the next one, number 6, it says define and set boundaries with in-laws, especially. We talked quite extensively about in-laws and how they are, some people allow in-laws to ruin their marriage. Ernest gave us examples of how from day one they know his wife is a no-go area. He said, you are the man, the leader, like we always say. Set the boundary, let your family know. He said he told his wife, the love you have for me, you have to have it for my wife. You cannot love me and you say my wife, Wow. Set boundaries and maintain those boundaries with outsiders or family, extended family, throughout your marriage. Define and set boundaries. And then, number 7, women are incubators. Whatever you give us, you see us. Maybe that's why we have a womb. It's only the female gender that has a womb. A man has no womb. A man has stomach, no womb. But we women, God has blessed us with the gift of womb. And it is the womb that you conceive. And Brother Ernest said, women are incubators. Whatever you give us, you go collect. Oh. And he gave a very good example of how he's been depositing in his wife. Never asked her how much she's earning, never asked her salary. He makes sure he takes care of her, he does everything. And then a time came when he started having issues in his work. And it was time to collect without saying a word. Auntie Gloria, God will bless you. Time came and he was collecting and it was easy because he has deposited so much. Have you seen his wife? Hey, his wife is beautiful. It's a Benin man, no? It's an Edo man. Okay. Women are incubators. Whatever you give, you go collect tenfold. Then we talked about leadership. Number 8, you don't just say, I'm a leader, I'm a head. Be a visionary leader. And the example given here is that as a leader, you are the last. You'll be the last to eat. Everybody will eat first before you. A servant leader, that's what you be. That means you're not going to give your wife old car and say, okay, you manage this one, let me take new car. You lead by example. He said you will be the least person to take, not the first person to take. Wow. Be a visionary. Demonstrate your leadership by the things you do to show that you are a leader. Yeah? Number 8. Number 9. It talks about, kerewa. Not denying each other of kerewa. Kerewa is, as long as the bed is shaking, your chances of surviving is good. And then we talked about infidelity, and he said there's nobody that is not tempted. Just because they are men or men of faith or men who believe in God don't mean that they didn't experience temptation. But you have to be disciplined and always remove yourself from situations that will make you fall. Because as a human being, if you think I cannot fall, you go follow. So finally, that's the last one, and he said you need to form oneness. One, you are one. You are not two anymore. Hi. My goodness, how have we done today? Give us a thumbs up. Share this video. It's long, but it's full of gems. Make sure you get your book, The Audacious Faith, and send Brother Ernest an email so you can get the potent power of sponsorship. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you've been blessed tonight, and I will see you in my next one. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. I've been blessed. I received the word without going to church today. And that word is that, you know what? This battle is the Lord's. It's God. So it's not me now that is facing this. God cannot be mocked. God cannot be disgraced. So whatever challenge that you are going through, remind God that this mountain is yours. Wow. Thank you so much. Man of Prestige. You said 96 causes of divorce in 10 minutes at Man of Prestige. Okay, you are live in Man of Prestige in 10 minutes. Okay, I'll join. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you guys in my next one. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend ahead. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Bye. Please make sure you get your book. Oh, encourage Brother Ernest to come back. Oh, thank you so much. Bye, guys. Love you.